NFL on CBS from Nashville, the Coliseum, where the Titans used to be dominant. They won 13 in a row at home, but since then, only 6-6. One guarantee, though, over the last 6+ seasons is that Eddie George will be in the lineup every Sunday.
Eddie George will keep his consecutive game streak alive. Today, it's number 99, but some are asking, is Eddie George beginning to wear down? He told us he'll answer that question today against the Cleveland Browns defense. Titans
and Browns played a wild game back in December of 2001. Pulled that one out 41-38. We'll have the Browns and Titans coming up here on CBS from Nashville, Tennessee. The Stars are out at the Coliseum. Browns head coach Butch Davis told us that he wasn't going to let pride and ego get in the way of making the quarterback decision. He felt that Tim Couch progressed through the week, and he was prepared to name him the starter for the action today. So Couch will get the nod, and Cleveland will have the football first. They've won the toss. Joe Nedney kicks it off. Andre King and Andre Davis are back, and it'll be Davis returning from his own end zone. Almost tripped up, loses the football as he crossed the 20. Andre Davis, the rookie, coughed it up. Titans claim they have it. Trying to peel off the pile right now at the 24-yard line, and some pushing and shoving on special teams. Butch Davis feels that his team got it back.
Andre Davis coming in. You can see the ball knocked out right there. Ball's on the ground. Looks like he was able to get back on it. Lucky for him. Lucky for the Cleveland Browns as well.
And the Browns will retain it as Tony Beckham jarred it loose for Tennessee. And Cleveland will have it, a 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Jeff Fisher in his 8th full season with the Tennessee Titans. 6-3 in his career against the Cleveland Browns. And the fans are into it early. Browns are playing their first road game of the season. Jamel White opens up in the base offense coming out of the backfield in motion. Couch, first start of the year, and a throw on 1st down. Quick one to Andre Davis. Davis accelerating after the catch. And signs of what happened last season, where the Cleveland Browns were able to make quick connections, break tackles, and gain chunks of yardage. 30 yards into Tennessee territory.
And that game you're talking about, Tim Couch had his best game ever as a pro. He just hits Andre Davis in the seam. They come out in the spread offense. That's what you want to do to this Tennessee Titans defense. They have not shown no ability to really defend the pass so far this year.
And Samari Rolle missed a tackle on that play. Out of the shotgun, Couch wants to run it. Couch splits defenders and scampers to the 44-yard line of Tennessee. Carlos Hall making the tackle. Now, Solomon, you alluded to it. Last year, Couch 336 yards, 3 touchdowns in his last game against Tennessee. And his first ever start came here in Nashville.
With the 21 interceptions, that's what you want to avoid. Tim Couch has to be productive. Kelly Holcomb certainly was the first 2 games.
Flags are down as Couch could not avoid the rush. But penalty markers as Henry Ford wrapped him up. And it's going to be a holding against the Cleveland Browns. We'll get the official word from Larry Nemmers, our referee, the veteran.
Holding. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, it's Roger Chenois. A hold on Kevin Carter gives us a chance to take a look at the Cleveland offense. Verba, Stokes, O'Hara filling in for the injured Dave Wollabaugh. Zukowskis is in as well as O'Hara shifts over from right guard. And Chenois in for the injured Ryan Tucker. He got called on the penalty. William Green, Quincy Morgan, Kevin Johnson, skill position players along with Campbell and Shea. 2 tight ends. Shea is listed as an H-back. But it's been Jamel White in the backfield so far as they'll redo 2nd down. Now 2nd and 16 back in their own territory. Couch flustered a bit, flips it for White. And White into Tennessee territory at the 45-yard line. Kevin Carter brought him down from behind. A gain of 9 on the dump off. Tennessee defense, this was a defense ranked first 2 years ago, and then they dropped all the way down last year. It was a struggle for them. Carter, Thornton, Ford, Carlos Hall getting the start for the injured Javon Curse. Sermon, Chamberlain in at middle linebacker, but Randall Godfrey is active. Keith Bullock on the outside. Dyson and Roll the corners. Lance Schulters, the free agent from San Francisco, and the rookie Tank Williams are the safeties. On 3rd and 7 out of the gun. Couch steps up. Couch throws. Incomplete. Looking for Andre Davis and a late flag.
There's a late flag in the secondary, but so far this Cleveland Browns offensive line is really struggling to give Tim Couch the protection he needs to deliver the football.
And that penalty marker did come late.
Number 21, spot foul, automatic, first down.
It is sorry roll as the rookie from Virginia Tech was trying to free himself for the reception.
Roll is working the slot against Andre Davis. Watch him, number 21. You see, it'll be a little push-off, but there it is. You see the hands on Andre Davis. Can't put the hands on the receiver once you get past 5 yards, but he's holding on, and the officials caught him.
William Green now in the backfield, the rookie from Boston College. A 1st and 10 from the 34. That was an 11-yard penalty. Couch. Toss to the flat. Quincy Morgan trying to create after the catch, but Andre Dyson was all over it. And a gain of 3. Morgan, one of the really improved players on this Cleveland offense.
Now, he's a guy that really has come on in his 2nd year. The light has come on because he had tremendous offseason, stayed in Cleveland, worked with the quarterbacks, dropped a lot of balls in his rookie year out of Kansas State. But so far this year, leading the team with receptions, 9 in the opening week against Kansas City.
And he told us, Solomon, flat out, he got deeper into the playbook. Things are coming more naturally to him. He doesn't have to think out there anymore. 2nd and 7, movement on a pitch for Green. Green waiting for a ball to develop. And nothing there as flags came down. Just about everybody involved defensively for Tennessee.
Number 98, Rabari Smith, was quick off the ball, getting the penetration. Not sure if he jumped off or if he was drawn off by an offensive lineman.
Before the ball was snapped, defense, number 98, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Now it is Robert Smith in his 3rd year from Michigan State, a 6th-round draft pick, and he's been in there on defensive tackle substitutions as Jeff Fisher will make changes. He'll mix and match that defensive line.
And so far, the Tennessee Titans on defense are costing themselves 2 penalties so far on this drive to give the Cleveland Browns offense new life. They're going to have to settle down. They're the team that's at home. They have to settle down and begin to make some plays. They've missed tackles so far, allow the receivers to get open and make some plays. So they're going to have to just settle down and play good, sound, fundamental defense. Jeff Fisher has told us that they're doing less on defense to make it easier for him.
And another message from our referee.
Please put 12:22 on the game clock. 12:22. Thank you.
They tack on 6 seconds on the game clock. Tennessee's coming off a 21-13 loss in Dallas last week. What a disappointment after the week 1 win over Philadelphia, 27-24. This is a team that was in a major hole at the start of last season, trying to avoid it here in 2002.
And they came out playing well in that game against Philadelphia. Then last week in Dallas, they stumbled, didn't get the pressure on the quarterback like they wanted.
3 tight end set. Green taking it straight up the gut. And a modest gain of 1 for William Green, who has yet to show off the skills that he did at Boston College. Fellow rookie Albert Hainsworth out of Tennessee makes that stop.
Butch Davis told us that they wanted to come out and try to run the football. That's very difficult to believe because they're only averaging 2.9 yards a carry. They came out with the spread offense, and I think in this game they're going to pass in order to be able to run the football. Spread out this Titans defense by throwing the ball and then try to crease them with some quick hitting run plays.
Well, they'll keep Green on the field on a 3rd and 1 from the 25. Fans getting vocal. Play action. Couch throws. Wide open Steve Hyden. The backup tight end who came over from San Diego in a trade picks up 11 yards on the toss from Couch and a 1st down for Cleveland.
That's just a play action play with wide hop going to the tight end. He'll just come off screen, gets past the linebacker, and they dump it off. It's just an easy 1st down. You have to do a better job of jamming the tight end and then making the play. Lance Schulter comes up to make the tackle, but not until the catch is made.
Couch has looked sharp. 4 of 4, 53 yards for Tim Couch, the #1 pick back in 1999, and a first down from the 14. Hiding the motion man. Couch has the time, throws to the end zone, up top, and a catch by Davis. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Hey, Andre Davis, they told us he is one of the most polished receivers you'll ever see as a rookie. Coming out of Virginia Tech, they knew he had the speed. He's a big guy. He can catch the ball over the middle, but he's such a polished route runner. He's going to be matched up in the slot. You have Lance Schulters, the safety, in man-to-man coverage on a wide receiver. He gets on top of Schulters, and he just makes the touchdown. They're asking Schulters to maybe do a little bit too much playing one-on-one with a wide receiver. He's expected to be able to cover tight ends and running backs out. Very difficult assignment against Andre Davis.
Phil Dawson, the extra point, and the Cleveland Browns picked up where they left off last December here at the Coliseum. They scored 41 points in that game. They've already got 7 on the board here. The Cleveland quarterbacks huddle up after that impressive drive. 7 plays, 78 yards. Couch was perfect, 5 of 5, including the 14-yard touchdown throw to Andre Davis. How about Andre Davis? 3 NFL games, 3 touchdowns.
He's very polished. Jim Couch said it. They worked together during the offseason. Couch and Andre Davis, as well as Quincy Morgan. These receivers are really responding to the offense ran by Bruce Arians.
Off the Phil Dawson kick, John Simon, the rookie, on the return, and he gets bottled up as he crosses the 25 by Brant Boyer on special teams. Tennessee will get its first shot on offense in a moment. Now, considering what the numbers have been over the last few years, it may take an adjustment period, but get used to the idea. Cleveland can score.
They can score. Tim Couch 5 for 5 on that last drive, and the passing game is alive. If they get a running game, they'll be red hot.
Handoff. Eddie George, first play from scrimmage. He stumbles forward on the give from McNair, and Earl Holmes makes that tackle after the gain of 2.5.
We're going to show you why Tim Couch able to make the throw. Watch Jamil White. He's pointing to his assignment. He's going to pick up the blitzing cornerback. It's Donald Mitchell coming off the end. He picks up the block. Look, he keeps his head up, and he's able to make the block. It's just a textbook play. That allows time for Tim Couch to make the pass to Andre Davis, but that's why White's in the game in those kinds of situations. William Green, the rookie, not quite ready for the pass protection. It's part of it.
On 2nd and 8, Camella sets up as a receiver. And a handoff to George again, and George driven back as he hit the 30-yard line. Gerard Warren was the man that acted as a brick wall, and a gain of 1. Steve McNair suffered a mild concussion in the second quarter last week against the Dallas Cowboys when he crashed into an equipment truck, and nicks and bruises, nothing new to Steve McNair.
Yeah, that offense was really rolling last week in Dallas until Steve McNair was forced to lead the game in the second quarter. But as you can see, 15 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. He's a guy that really has come on with the lack of a running game and the injuries that have happened to Eddie George.
Spread formation forced Cleveland to match up with them on a 3rd and 7. McNair has the time, throws underneath the coverage and short of the first down marker, as Steve McNair made the connection middle of the field to Frank Wycheck, but it's going to be short.
And something you don't see quite often. The defensive tackle Gerard Warren was back in coverage, and they were running little zone blitz there. He backed off the line of scrimmage, dropped in his zone, and came up and made the tackle.
It is the 90th straight game where Wycheck has at least 1 catch, but that one is a full yard shy of the marker. So Craig Hendrick will punt, currently leading the NFL in that category, 48.5 yards per punt. Dennis Northcutt waiting. High punt, Northcutt, returnable from the 16. Tried to take it towards the sideline and was caught from behind by Justin McCarrans on special teams. 49-yard punt, a 5-yard return. Cleveland has the touchdown advantage. Eddie George went to the emergency room after the loss to Dallas last week. Pain in his left foot. MRI showed no structural damage. He felt the tape job on his left foot, that's the right foot, was a bit too tight, and it never loosened up. Right now, they're working on the other foot.
Showing signs of loyalty. He said he's going to go back to the same guy and get the same tape job.
The trainer is Brad Brown. On first down, Couch is sacked. Kevin Aldridge, the rookie, along with Kevin Carter, came firing in on Tim Couch.
Cleveland Browns had only given up 2 sacks in their first 2 games this season, but the Titans, they can bring the heat. Look at that's Robert Smith coming up the middle, as well as Kevin Carter coming off the edge. They had 6 sacks in the first week against a mobile quarterback in Donovan McNair, but was only able to get 1 sack last week against Quincy Carter. So if they can get to the quarterback, it just holds good things for the Tennessee Titans.
2nd and 18, they crowd the line. Hand it off. William Green trying to break through. And on second effort, Green is able to get out across the 15 and pick up 4 yards.
And the only thing that's going to be able to slow down the Tennessee Titans pass rush is going to be the Cleveland Browns' ability to run the football with William Green. He struggled in his first 2 games. Head coach Butch Davis says he just needs more opportunities. But that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be able to run the football. If they're going to run the spread offense and throw the ball all over the place, Titans secondary hasn't shown they can stop the pass. So this pass rush is going to have to get to the quarterback if Tennessee has any chance of winning the football game.
See the selection, 6 passes so far, an obvious passing situation on 3rd and 14. Couch out of the gun, deflected at the line of scrimmage. Carlos Hall, the rookie from Arkansas, who had a huge week 1 with 3 sacks in the victory over Philadelphia, wasn't heard from much in week 2.
Yeah, he pitched a shutout in week 2, but you can see early on he's getting off to a good start. Thought Couch could have got rid of the ball a little sooner. He had Jameel White over in the flat, but he's trying to read the progression, trying to really just take advantage of the time they're giving him up front. Just a good job by Carlos Hall, getting the push and then getting the hand up to knock down the ball.
They are giving the youngster John Simon an opportunity to return punts as Gardocki gets off a long one. Simon from the 36. Simon cuts it upfield across the 45. Flag down. Simon accelerating to the 34-yard line and brought down by the punter Gardocki, but a penalty marker on the play.
Well, Simon did a good job of throwing moves, and one last guy was Gardocki, the punter, and he failed to put a move on the punter, decided he'd try to run him over.
But as mentioned, a penalty flag after a 30-yard return for the first-year player from Louisiana Tech, following a 47-yard punt.
There is no foul on the play. The block was legal. First down.
Yep, the block was legal, so says Larry Nemmers, and the return is legal for Simon.
Yes, it is. Simon, he just picks up some good blocking, taking it up the middle, and now he has one guy to beat. Doesn't try to throw a move here, trying to run right over the top of him. He's able to make Gardocki miss. He takes it to the house for a touchdown.
Do you think he's going to hear about that in the film room?
I think he will hear about it. There's no doubt. Great moves up until he gets to the last guy.
And great field position. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 34. McNair looking to throw. Safety valve incomplete. Eddie George. Darren Hambrick was closing in. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for Tennessee.
Yeah, I think Hambrick forced Eddie George to sort of shorten up his reach there. Ball appeared to be right out in front, just like you want to lead the receiver. But, you know, Hambrick was there just in time, I think, to give Eddie George second doubts.
It'll be a 3-receiver set for Tennessee as Drew Bennett checks in. And Cleveland will counter with Anthony Henry as the 3rd corner. Browns leading at 7-0. A long drive to start this game. 6:59 to play in the first quarter. Little razzle-dazzle. Eddie George up the middle. Everybody thought at first that Mason had taken the handoff on an end around. Not the case. 7-yard gain.
Just good ball movement and excellent job by this Tennessee Titan offensive line coming off the ball. They have been ridiculed for their inability to generate any kind of dominance up front to provide running room for Eddie George. That time they were able to get a significant gain, and Robert Griffin came up to make the tackle. That's what they want from him, to be the 8th man in the box and make the secure tackle.
Now a 3rd and 3. A long count for McNair. Handed off. They ask George to get them the first down, and he will. Eddie George, tackled by Orpheus Roy. Is it enough depending on the spot? They might pull this one back. Wow, he came up short. 4th down, they're going for it. Hey, on a keeper, McNair. Was that ball loose, or was he down already? If he was down, he has the first down.
I think Eddie George was able to make the recovery, and he lunged for it. Depends on where they got a mark, but it was certainly a better spot if they say that Steve McNair was down.
They go for it on 4th down, trying to catch Cleveland napping. They huddled up, got to the line of scrimmage very quickly.
Which we bring back the fumbling spot. We'll measure for a first down.
Wow.
So they say that it was a fumble, and they're going to mark it after the recovery by Eddie George, who, as I said before, was able to lunge forward, but he wasn't as far as McNair was when the ball came out.
McNair easily a half a yard past where the ball is right now. And it's not going to matter. Tennessee very fortunate where the ball fell out of the arms of McNair.
It's just a quick count, and they'll go straight ahead with it. Watch it. Let's see if the knee is down. Well, the knee was down. The knee hit the ground, and then the ball came out. So had they tried to review it, they would have been able to see that Eddie George was down. The knee was down before the ball came out.
New set of downs to work with, line of scrimmage the 24. And no play. It was designed to go up the middle for Eddie George.
Snap, we had a replay review.
A replay review.
The replay review is to determine where the spot is. I don't think it's really going to matter. It's going to be Tennessee's ball either way. But McNair, his knee was down before the ball came out.
So Butch Davis able to call out the coach's challenge just before the snap.
Now let's watch here. Okay, see the knee down right there. The knee is down. And then the ball comes out.
Yeah, that was my initial take on it on live action. And McNair was clearly down. Then the ball was charged loose. The officials on the field determined that it was a fumble. I don't think they can go back and change that.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that Butch Davis would want to review the play. He can't get the ball. Either way,
no, he can get the ball if they come up short of the first down.
Well,
it was on 4th down.
Well, they gave the spot. They spot the ball at the place where Eddie George, once he got the ball, he lunged forward. That's where they spot the ball.
He's got to be questioning where the spot is. That's the only reason why you challenge it right now.
Absolutely.
Take another look. Now, this is McNair pushing himself forward.
So there you see, okay, the knee is down. So he's down before the ball. He has the ball right there. So, and that's why I don't understand why he would challenge it. Because watch as Eddie George comes in. Well, we don't see it there. He comes in to get the ball. Then he lunges forward, and that's where they spotted the ball.
Now, Larry Nemmers will take a look at it. You know, again, on the live look, I thought McNair was down, had the first down. They, on the field, determined that it was a fumble.
There you see. Knee down, ball still in. Then the ball comes out. Now, watch where Eddie George, he'll get the ball. But see, he lunges forward, and he's not touched yet. So, and that's where they spotted the ball when they took the measurement. And they still had the first down.
Well, the knee was down. He was untouched on the recovery. Now the only question is where the football is placed on that recovery. I'm with you. I didn't think it was a fumble to start with. And I thought Cleveland caught a break initially.
Well, also, Eddie George, had it been a fumble, he recovered the ball and then was able to advance the ball forward enough to pick up the first down. And that's why I'm a little bit perplexed here as to why Butch Davis decided to have the play reviewed.
Well, a lot riding on this right now. If Tennessee holds on to the football, they'll have a first down. If not, Cleveland gets the football if they determine it.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's knee was down.
There you go.
When the ball was at the 23.5-yard line, which made it a first down for Tennessee. Cleveland will be charged with a timeout.
You know, the problem, though, is if you think about it, if you're Butch Davis, you ask for the replay. You're not asking if it's a fumble. You're asking where's the ball, and now they determine, hey, this wasn't even a fumble.
It wasn't even a fumble, absolutely.
So our initial thought was the right one, that this should never have been a fumble in the first place.
And that's right. And Butch Davis is getting advice from upstairs as well. And someone should have told him that even if Eddie George did recover the ball, he advanced it far enough to pick up the first down where the initial spot was the first time anyway.
So Tennessee holds on to it. A 1st and 10 at the 23. On a pitch, here's George. Sweep towards the sideline, and George is spilled out of bounds as he picks up 3 yards at the 20-yard line. Dalen McCutcheon in on that stop. Well, for Eddie George, last year, obviously, a huge blow to his reputation after what he had done in his previous seasons in the NFL, now to his 7th year in the league.
You can see the yards per game, a huge drop-off last year, only 58 yards per game, only went over 100 yards rushing in one game last year, and that was here against the Cleveland Browns when he hit 130 yards. But he says he feels fine.
Now, right now, Tennessee is going back to the basics for them, which was always run the football first. Earl Holmes makes that tackle after the gain of 2. McNair so far just 2 passes attempted, 1 completion, 6 yards to Frank Wycheck.
And that had been a concern of Derek Mason, a guy who really has, I think, broken out with the injuries caused to Eddie George. It's been a blessing in disguise that the passing game has come on, and he wants the ball to continue to go up the field. 100 yards receiving in his last 2 games.
3rd and 5 from the 18. 3 receivers set for Tennessee. They trail 7-0. McNair across the middle. Spin move by George. And tackled at the 10. A new set of downs for Tennessee to work with. Robert Griffith could not bring him down initially. 8-yard pickup.
And that's what we didn't see from Eddie George last year. He was so injured and so banged up. He lost his ability to make guys miss in the open field. But there you see, able to put the spin move on Robert Griffith, keep a hand down, and then advance it forward, keep the chains moving. You can see he says, hey, what I'm feeling and going through now is like a splinter to what I had last year with all the injuries. So he says, hey, I feel great and I'm ready to go.
A 1st and goal from the 10. Tennessee on the move after excellent field position following the return of John Simon. On a handoff, Mike Green. And he is cut down after he picks up 2 yards by McCutcheon. And some pushing and shoving after the play. Mason got tossed. Dalen McCutcheon was involved as well.
Well, first thing Mason wants to do, put your helmet on. I mean, that's the main thing. You want to put a helmet on. He did take a shove by one of the Cleveland defenders, but you want to protect yourself, and we already know that in this game, you want to keep your helmet on. It can cost your football team.
Derek Mason animated following that skirmish, and no flags come down as Mason was looking for some kind of penalty retribution. Clock is moving. 2:36 and counting left here in the 1st quarter. A 2nd and goal from the 8. McNair on a shovel toss in front. Incomplete. He was looking for Eddie George. And Gerard Warren happened to be in the area.
Yeah, this play was just out of sorts to begin with. Didn't get the push. They're pulling the guards. Didn't get the push they want up front. And Eddie George is just too close to the quarterback, too close to McNair, and Gerard gets the penetration and really just destroys the play before it can get going.
Almost gets the pick. 10th play of the drive. Gerard Warren, powerful, quick player in his 2nd year from Florida. He is part of this defensive foundation. Spread the field on a 3rd and goal from the 8. McNair looks, end zone, fires, incomplete, flags come flying. Kevin Dyson in a crowd. Kevin Bentley involved in that coverage, and Dyson is jawing away after the play.
Yeah, whenever you get a linebacker.
Pass interference. Number 59. Automatic first down.
And whenever you get a linebacker in space on a wide receiver, he's really going to be over anxious to try to make a play. Now, he's going to be in the slot over the top of Kevin Dyson. Bentley, and Dyson's just going to run a slant inside. Can't allow him to get inside position. You see, already grabbing and holding, because once you allow the receiver to get inside position, it's just an easy throw for the quarterback.
And a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Motion man Dyson. Inside handoff, Greg Camella. And those brown jerseys come flying through, including Courtney Brown and Earl Holmes. No gain on the play.
Well, Foge Fazio has really issued a challenge to this defensive line. They've been struggling to stop the run. Priest home in the opening week, 122 yards rushing against the defense. Corey Dillon last week, over 100 yards again, ranked 31st in the National Football League in stopping the run. He says, hey, guys, we've got to come in and do a much better job. And now they're getting the push, getting the penetration, and forcing the Tennessee Titans running backs to bounce it to the sideline, and then they're swarming to make the tackle.
2nd and goal from the 2. Hand it off. George with a head of steam. He's in. Touchdown, Titans.
And this was old-fashioned Tennessee Titans football like what we saw 2 years ago when they went 13-3. Wasn't pretty, ugly football, but they just smashed mouth up front with the offensive line. They were able to pound Eddie George and get it into the end zone. Now watch the push up front. You see right in the interior part of that offensive line, Eddie George takes the ball deep, but then he puts his head down, finds a seam, and able to cross the goal line and get it in for the touchdown. Good job by the offensive line. They've been challenged here in Tennessee to get back to their old form as well.
2nd rushing touchdown of the season for Eddie George. An 11-play, 34-yard drive, and Joe Nedney on for the extra point. He connects, and we are tied at 7. All of it set up by the punt return from John Simon. It culminates in a 2-yard plunge for George. You question sometimes the night before some of these fans make those decisions of what they're going to look like the next day. There's one.
Yeah, putting a lot of thought into it.
And what, you sit down with the family. You sit down with the family at the dinner table on Saturday night, say, here's the plan.
Boy, I tell you, not a good plan.
Joe Nedney on the kickoff. Davis and King are back. It'll be Davis on the return. Davis fumbled on his last opportunity on a kickoff return, and this time takes a seat at the 22-yard line. Eddie Berlin on special teams makes the tackle. 7-7. First quarter action from Nashville. All tied up at the Coliseum. Are you winning your fantasy matchup? Well, you can get real-time scores and stats for your fantasy team at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Should probably get a name tag and just smack it on the end of the bench for Eddie George for the trainers to know where he's going to be, because
he keeps them busy, doesn't he?
Every game you'll see George there. He gets his share of bumps and bruises.
He's a warrior.
William Green in the backfield for Cleveland on a 1st and 10 from the 22. Green gets the call. Green tries to make a cut and nothing doing. Keith Bullock read that play and limited him to a gain of 1.
Bullock is a guy, he's just everywhere. In the passing game, he can make plays. He'll come up with interceptions. He can blitz the quarterback, but he does an excellent job fighting off the would-be blocker, able to shield the blocker and still come off and make the tackle. In his 3rd year out of Syracuse, was a guy that played primarily on 3rd down last year, 50% of the plays, and now he's playing 100% of the time, and said, you know what, now I have to learn everything. He has to learn how to stop run plays like what we just saw.
And he can go sideline to sideline.
He sure can. Amazing athlete.
On 2nd and long, Couch under some heat again. Tosses to the sideline and caught by Aaron Shea. Shea able to accelerate down that sideline, and Andre Dyson makes the stop after a gain of 8. Let's go to New York right now. Get an update from Jim Nance.
All right, Ian down in Houston. Indianapolis against the Texans, and Peyton Manning finds a wide open Qadry Ismail, and the Colts lead at 7-0 quarter change down in Houston. Let's go back to Ian and Solomon.
Well, Jim, last week Ismail found himself locked up by Sam Madison, and he's just happy to not see the Miami Dolphins on the other side of the field.
It was like playing in a telephone booth against Sam Madison, and that bump and run coverage just had his way with Ismail, who's breaking out today.
On 3rd and 1, stack it up at the line of scrimmage. Green, did he get enough?
I tell you, he's going to have to get a generous spot on this one, because the defense appeared to have him stopped just short of the 1st down mark. It's going to be close.
Time trickling away here in the 1st quarter. That's it. 1st quarter complete here in Nashville. Titans and Browns, they are tied at 7. We'll return with more action. This is the NFL on CBS. Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Well, the Browns did not get the 1st down, so Gardocki forced a punt. And not a returnable punt, as Gardocki was able to angle it towards the sideline, but he is not going to get a favorable spot. That's the last thing you want from a punter's eyes when you start seeing that line judge come up the sideline.
That's right. You know, you don't mean to hit that knockdown shot and have it only make it to the 30-yard line. Certainly want to get more out of your punt.
And they will spot the football at the 27. Tied at 7. Packed house here at the Coliseum in Nashville. Titans 1-1. The Browns 1-1. In fact, everybody in the AFC South is 1-1. You take a look at the AFC North. Cleveland's the only team in the division that actually has a win, with Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati all winless. On first down, McNair on a pass and catch to Eddie George, brought down by Darren Hambrick, and a modest pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And sooner or later, the Titans are going to have to try to stretch the field, because now the Cleveland Brown defense is starting to constrict a little, or starting to get an 8th man in the box to try to shut down Eddie George in the running game. And here's where you want to do some play action pass. Try to get the ball deep to Derek Mason or Kevin Dyson.
On 2nd down, Camella releases from the backfield. Here's McNair with a rush coming. Sets it up. Eddie George trying to make defenders miss. And Dwayne Rudd on top of it. Pickup of 3. Another update, NFL Today. We head to New York. Jim Nance.
All right, Ian, a little story brewing up at Foxborough. Look at the Chiefs. They've already picked off Tom Brady. And here Green connects with Kinnison. 10-0 Chiefs in the 2nd quarter. And let's go back to Ian and Solomon.
Now, sometimes when you least suspect it, obviously it's very early between those two teams, but New England has been so impressive in their first 2 games.
You have to wonder if they're beginning to relax a little bit. Came in seeking the attention and the respect of everyone. Get off to the 2-0 start. You get the respect and you exhale somewhat.
On a 3rd and 3. Fake the pitch. McNair circling. Flag down. Underneath to Wycheck, and he got leveled by Kevin Bentley, the rookie from Northwestern, at a penalty marker.
And they're going to call this, I believe, on Wycheck. He just took Mark Word, the defensive end, who was trying to keep him from releasing, just took him and threw him to the ground before he checked out into the flat, and the ball had been thrown to him.
Offense, number 89. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
You know, Wycheck, he's an old pro. He's going to do anything he can to get open. Wouldn't allow Mark Word to hold him up at the line of scrimmage. Just at the top of the screen, you can see the tight end. He's going to try to hold off the defensive end, and then watch him just throw him to the ground as he releases in the open. And that's number 78, Tyrone Rogers, actually threw to the ground before he released to the flat.
4th down, Craig Hentrick on to punt it away. Dennis Northcutt standing at his own 21, awaiting. Hentrick, booming punt. Backpedaling is Northcutt. From the 12, Northcutt heading towards the sideline. He's got the angle down the sideline and out of bounds. 54-yard punt. Northcutt brings it back 26 yards for Cleveland. All tied at 7 in the 2nd. More America Online. Enter keyword NFL.com. On 1st and 10, Couch, play action. Zings one over William Green. Makes a cut. And Green is going to be short. And he coughs up the football. Tennessee's got it. Will they rule it a fumble? Green tried to get to the 45.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement on the Tennessee bench.
They've got it.
And for good reason.
So the rookie Green continues to struggle. After making his first NFL catch, he turns it over.
And Butch Davis has had to defend his decision to start William Green over Jameel White. You can see he's hit. The ball does come out before he hits the ground. Robert Smith, number 98, comes over and just takes a lick.
And then Donald Mitchell jumps on it for Tennessee.
And William Green, now he's given a good effort, but you have to be heady as well and understand that when there's just a swarm of defenders around you, you have to protect the football. You have to try to get the extra yards and have the second effort. But it's first and foremost, you have to protect the football.
1st and 10 now from the 43 for Tennessee. Through the middle, it's Eddie George, and he picks up 4 yards on 1st down. Robert Griffith, the former Viking, making that stop on George.
Yeah, he knocked him down, then he helped him up.
And one last thing, Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator for Cleveland, told us that Green is getting frustrated, but he told Green, don't listen to all the talk around you. Just listen to us. Listen to the coaches. We'll guide you through this. It's not an easy transition. First few games in the NFL.
Yeah, they say he's thinking too much. He just needs to read and react, and then he'll be able to run the football more successfully.
On 2nd and 6. Again, the misdirection with George. And it's George getting a block up front from DiNapoli. And he picks up 6 yards, a first down.
In Cleveland, what they're doing, they're getting the motion, I should say Tennessee, getting the motion going away, and then they're just hitting it right here. You can watch the fullback. He'll lead, but the reverse, that's what holds the backside rush, and they're able to get good push right up front and create a running lane for Eddie George.
Second time they faked it with Derek Mason on an end around. And a 1st and 10 from the 32. George again, no secret here what Tennessee is doing as he gets upended after a pickup of 2 by Earl Holmes, first man there for Cleveland.
We talked about how Tennessee, they opened up the playbook last year. Steve McNair virtually carrying the team. He was their 2nd leading rusher. And then also he threw for over 3,000 yards, but they were able to open up. But guess what? They only won 7 games. So they feel like they have to get back to Eddie George doing things like they did in the 99 and 2000 season. Of course, he had 5 straight years when he rushed for over 1,000 yards. So if they can get back to that, then they can play winning football.
On 2nd and 9, McNair straight back, steps up, low throw, caught by George. And George is spun down at the 24-yard line by the linebacker Hambrick. You're right, last year was a lot of air McNair. We are yet to see it here today.
Yeah, they're just dumping off. This is what Coach Fazio, the defensive coordinator for Cleveland, was really concerned about. He said we have to be concerned about what he calls the checker. That is running everyone up the field and really pushing the defense deep and then checking Eddie George out late, dumping the ball off to him. Last week they gave up 28 first downs to the Cincinnati Bengals, and Corey Dillon just ate them alive catching the ball out of the backfield.
6 completions so far for McNair. None of them have gone to a wide receiver. Mason in motion as we approach 10 minutes to go in the first half. It's a pitch for the rookie Simon, trying to hurdle his way. And Simon gets across the 25. Flag down. A late hit. This play was over. And Simon was going to come up short of a first down as Courtney Brown was the first guy to bring him down.
It was a late hit, but I'm not sure if it was intentional. Grant Boyer, number 52, appeared to be knocked onto the pile, and that's what they saw. They saw his body come flying in, but someone threw a block on him and knocked him into the pile.
Boyer, who had the game of his life last week.
Unnecessary roughness on the defense for a late hit. Will go half the distance to the goal. First down.
Now let's take a look.
Yeah, Boyer got the worst of it on both ends. You can see this is going to be Boyer. He's coming downhill fast. He's trying to get to the ball. Okay, now he's down. Okay, there's your late hit right there. And you see Boyer coming. He does get knocked in. But number 99, Orpheus Roy, look, he spears. He's using his helmet.
It's Roy.
And he almost hurt his own teammate. And that's why Boyer sort of collapsed, because Orpheus Roy went colliding into the back of Boyer's leg, and then he fell on the pile.
Penalty should have been on number 99, the former Steeler Orpheus Roy. And it was Boyer who picks it up because that's the body that they saw fly in. And Coach Fazio's defense, unfortunately for the Browns right now, just handed the Tennessee Titans a first down, a 12-yard penalty.
Yeah, have to play smartly.
1st and 10, just outside the 11. George, nowhere to go. In fact, he loses yardage on the play.
And you get a sense that the crowd's getting a little restless. They're used to this offense, at least over the last year, of opening it up. Steve McNair going up the field to Derek Mason and Kevin Dyson. Last year, the game in Cleveland, both receivers had 100 yards receiving against a secondary that led the league with 33 interceptions. So they're certainly more than capable of what you're seeing today. But nevertheless, they're moving the football and knocking on the door for the 2nd touchdown in the game.
2nd and 11 for Tennessee. All tied up at 7 and 7. McNair throwing, throws it to the end zone. Caught, touchdown. John Simon. The rookie with his first career touchdown, and McNair puts some mustard on that throw.
I have never seen Steve McNair look so cool and so calm and so confident standing in the pocket. Not using his legs to run around and buy time. He's just standing there. He's reading the defense. And Simon just comes blazing out of the backfield into the secondary. They force the defense to sort of split in the middle, and he just jams it in there. McNair does with a strong throw.
Extra point, Joe Negme. And Tennessee goes out in front 14-7. A 7-play, 43-yard drive off the turnover. And a rifle for McNair.
On the defense, number 58. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The extra point is good.
All right, so a late flag was tossed, and they will assess it on the kickoff. Penalty on the defense. Tennessee up by 7. Tennessee Titans have won 6 of their last 7 against the Cleveland Browns. And right now they lead it 14-7 with 8:55 to go here in the first half. It's been a lot of run for Tennessee, and you look at the numbers. Cleveland's run defense has just been so bad, not just this year, but in past years as well, to try to take advantage of it. McNair does get a chance to throw, and he connects with Simon for the touchdown.
And he's making good decisions. 7 of 9 so far throwing in the ball game. Only 39 yards because he's dumping it off, but he's hitting the open guy every time.
Davis will take it out of the end zone. And he got corralled from behind. John Simon involved in that play.
All right, Simon's all over the place.
And another penalty marker down. I'll tell you this, Solomon, it's still very early in the season, but these little penalties continue to add up for the Cleveland Browns. Taunting penalties, personal
During the
fouls.
return, holding number 54. That's half the distance penalty. First down.
An unnecessary penalty, of course, caught them in a bizarre situation in week 1. And now just little things here in week 3.
Well, here's what Tennessee is doing. Look, this is the touchdown play. Simon, he'll just slips underneath and come here for the touchdown. But this is the guy that you want to read. That's who Steve McNair is reading. That's Andre Davis. He doesn't get over in time. He looks him up, jams it right in there with the strong arm. Touchdown for Tennessee.
And the Browns are backed up. 1st and 10, just outside of their own 9-yard line. They trail by a touchdown. 2 tight end set. Movement. Couch on a handoff. William Green bursting through the middle, and Green with a good gainer on first down. Peter Sermon, the linebacker, makes the stop after a 6-yard gain for Green. Just trying to get his confidence back after coughing up the football.
Yeah, Butch Davis is going to go to him. He told us yesterday, he says he just needs to work. Got off to a slow start. Missed the first week of training camp as a holdout. Then he came in, suffered some injuries with a back spasm and a growing pull. He really had a tough time getting going. So they're going to keep giving him the ball. He's a first-round pick. He's going to have to earn his money.
2nd and 4. Couch wants to throw it. Quick slam into some traffic. And Kevin Johnson with the concentration makes the catch. And it's good for a first down. He took a shot from Sermon. 6 yards through the air.
And Sermon just broke on the ball. This is just a slant route to Kevin Johnson, trying to get him going. Dyson's also there on the play, but Sermon comes over number 59 and puts the hit. You have to get help from your linebackers, the guys who have inside leverage on those slant routes to discourage them from coming back to it.
Johnson has been Couch's favorite target over the last few years. Couch right now is 8 of 9 throwing the football, 86 yards and a touchdown. Movement again. Flags are down. Couch clapping his hands, feeling that it was Tennessee that jumped off sides. Were they fooled into it?
Well, you should only hope so.
5 penalties so far on Cleveland, 2 on Tennessee.
That's right. The penalties so far really hurt Cleveland Browns, because every time they seem to get going on offense, they get the penalty and go deeper in a hole.
How about defensive penalties as well, handing Tennessee a first down?
On the defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, it will be the rookie Albert Hainsworth, number 15 pick overall. He was selected just in front of William Green.
He's on the line. You can see there's the movement right there. Then there's contact, but it was Hainsworth who got into the zone first before Robert Smith was able to make contact.
third penalty on Tennessee. Titans come in averaging 6 penalties in their first 2 games. Cleveland averaging 8 penalties, and costly ones at that. 1st and 5 from the 26. Play action. Couch looking, has the time, airs it out, almost picked off. Flag is down as Johnson was in a crowd. 4 Tennessee Titan defenders in that area.
That's just Schuster. He's coming over and trying to make a play. And he comes over, he's trying to get to the ball, but he makes contact with the receiver before he can get the ball.
Interference. Number 31. Spot foul, automatic, 1st down.
They called it on Lance Schulters. Tank Williams was in the area as well, and Schulters disagrees.
That time they had good protection for Couch, but let's see. See, there's contact before he gets the ball.
Well, they got the wrong number. And that's Tank Williams. Schulters was the second man on the play.
That's right.
Turns into a 19-yard penalty. Jamel White is in the backfield. A 1st and 10 from the 45. Couch give to White. Emerges through a hole and crosses into Tennessee territory at the 49. Pickup of 6. He got a block from the left guard, Barry Stokes.
Cleveland have to be able to run the football because right now the Tennessee Titans defense, they're teeing off. They're expecting pass, and so they're going to try to get some hits on the quarterback, on Tim Couch. The only way he can slow him down is to be able to run the ball effectively. Keep the defense honest so they can't pin their ears back and come after your quarterback.
Well, they came into this game, 60% of their offensive plays were passing in the first 2 games. So far, 10 plays throwing the football, 7 plays running it. Couch in the pocket. It's collapsing. Couch makes a cut upfield, and Tim Couch has a 1st down. A penalty marker on the far end of the field is Couch with a dive forward to the 40-yard line. They'll spot it just shy of the 39. He picks up 10 yards, but that flag out there on the far sideline.
Illegal contact. Defense number 21. Penalty is declined.
Samari Roll called on that penalty. It won't matter.
And Couch showing the toughness. He actually gets pretty good protection, but it was really good coverage up the field in the Titans secondary. But he's able to get out and watch him put his head down. He's got the 1st down now. He's just get down, but he just takes on Frank Chamberlain, the middle linebacker, and runs him over. Still has the 1st down. You know, Tim Couch told us, Solomon, maybe it wasn't the worst thing in the world that his first game was going to come on the road, considering what's been going on in Cleveland and those fans thinking that Kelly Holcomb might be the answer. Couch gets a chance to do it away from Cleveland. And Holcomb, he's tied for the league in touchdowns in the National Football League. So, you know, he's a guy that has the 2nd best rating of any quarterback. He says the backup quarterback is going to be the most popular guy when you go out and play like he has in the last 2 ball games.
Rated 2nd, as you said, just behind Jay Fiedler of the Miami Dolphins entering play this week. Couch checking off the line of scrimmage. White gets the carry and gets caught from behind by Kevin Carter. He slid over to make that tackle, and a pickup of 1. Carter, Jeff Fisher says, is like a new man after rededicating himself during the offseason.
And I think Cleveland, we talk about them having to really have some type of running game here. I think they need to run just enough to keep the defense honest. They came out in that first series. They threw the ball, and their receivers can make some plays. They've done so in the first 2 ball games of the year, and they did it in the first quarter on that first drive. And you have to continue to attack the Titans secondary.
2nd and long after White got the carry. And they'll do it again. Draw play, nothing doing. Kevin Aldridge devours Jamel White, and a loss of 1.
And that's why you're going to have to try to get the ball out of the quarterback hands. Throw it to these receivers. You can see he just comes around. He comes in unblocked and make the tackle. He read that one all the way.
Now you got Mr. Green. You have Mr. White in this backfield. I don't know if you were a fan of the movie Reservoir Dogs, but there's a connection there. Trust me. I can't explain it. Somewhere. Just go with me. 4:45 to go until halftime. Roll out. Couch under a rush and gets rid of it. Tank Williams on a safety blitz. And Couch complaining to the referee.
The 2nd round pick from Stanford. He wasn't able to work out with the team during mini camps because he was back at school trying to graduate, but he's a smart kid. This is what you get from this Bear defense, the 46. He comes right up the middle, putting pressure, comes in unblocked. Couch is forced to just throw this one away. Actually showed good composure in getting rid of the ball and not taking the sack and not getting hit either.
Now, what's the decision here? This is a 52, 53-yard attempt. We'll call it 52. Phil Dawson has converted on 21 straight.
He's been red hot.
Last week, a career-long 52. Here's the attempt by Dawson, as hot as anyone in the league, until that kick. That ends the consecutive streak. Too shy of a team record held by Matt Stover. Dawson off the mark from 52 yards, and the score remains the same. Coming up next, has anyone ever escaped from the Rock other than Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage? Well, 1,000 of the world's top triathletes give it their best shot as they swim, bike, and run like their lives depend on it. It's the Lamisil AT Escape from Alcatraz Triathlon, and we've got it for you coming up next here on CBS. First and 10 from the 43 following the missed field goal attempt by Phil Dawson. Tennessee gets it back. Play action. Quick sell job by McNair. He's got time to run. McNair looking for an angle and will scamper out of bounds before Darren Hambrick can touch him up. Gerard Warren also involved in the pursuit. It's a gain of 5.
Was a good sell job. If the offensive line can give Steve McNair just a split second more time, he's going to be able to hit Derek Mason on the crouching route. He came open behind the linebackers who bit up on the play action.
Now, McNair and Mason have developed that bond, there's no doubt, over the last 2 years. And McNair told us that Mason is just so good after the catch. That's what separates him from the other wide receivers around the league.
He's a guy that's been having just a tremendous career since he's come on as the #1 receiver.
Eddie George on a 2nd and 6. And Earl Holmes again in on the stop. Holmes has been all over the field after the pickup of 3. Now, that's been a big issue for Butch Davis in stopping the run. He feels like there are so many new components on this defense that have to get on the same page, and that would include Holmes and Hambrick and Griffith, guys that are certainly capable, but they have to communicate with one another and get it done.
Right. 7 new starters on this defense, and that's a lot of guys who really are fighting the learning curve in terms of intuitively knowing what the other guy is doing, because you have to fit in so well in order to stop the running game, and that's where they're struggling the most in terms of defending the run.
Call it 3rd and a long 3, a deep drop. McNair wide open, and Mason can't catch it. He took a look to the side, and the concentration was off by just that much. He dropped it.
Yeah, the ball was behind him just a little bit, but nevertheless, you have to make the catch. He's going to come underneath from that bunch formation. Look, that ball, he normally catches that one. Mason's a guy who's been so productive, 100 yards in 6 of his last 9 games, including 118 yards last week against Dallas. So productive. In 2000, set an all-time record for all-purpose yards, 2,600 yards as a punt, kick return guy, and then as a receiver as well.
Wasted opportunity on the drop. Hentrick punting away a high spiraling kick. Dennis Northcutt forced to fair catch it at the 11 and a flag down. Penalty marker on the play. We have already seen 5 penalties against Cleveland, 5 penalties against Tennessee. And Larry Nemmers has been a busy man here in the first half with 3:10 to go.
During the kick, there was an illegal block in the back, number 43. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick, half the distance.
And they keep piling up for Butch Davis's club. Poor field position for the Browns when we come back to Nashville. 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line for Cleveland. Got off to such a terrific start here, driving down the field on their first possession, and have been unable to match that success on offense since. 3:10 to go. 2nd quarter. Play clock is winding down. Couch out of his own end zone. Floats one to the sideline, out of bounds. Evan Johnson was the intended receiver. Now, Cleveland scored first in this game, 7 plays, 72 yards, and the touchdown to the rookie Davis. Since then, the numbers tell you the story.
Only 15 plays in their last 4 drives where they've sputtered since that first possession where Tim Couch went 5 for 5, and they went right down the field, scored a touchdown. Of course, they got some help from the Tennessee Titans defense, who had 2 penalties to help keep that dry line.
And again, no real running game to speak of for Cleveland. Here's Couch, deflected. Could have been picked off. Hainsworth got a hand on it, and then it was up for grabs. Just that much for Keith Bullock.
Well, Butch Davis, you know, we asked him about making the change from Kelly Holcomb to Tim Couch. He says, hey, we weren't surprised about what Holcomb did. This is something that they had did in the preseason. Tim Couch was very successful in team big plays. He said, but what Holcomb did the last 2 weeks wasn't against the Titans defense. He felt that Tim Couch would face a much better defense today than what they've seen in the last 2 weeks. And so far, that's exactly what's happening.
On 3rd and 10. Carter trying to get back on sides.
And that's what's killing the coaches. They're making plays, they're stopping them, but then you give them new life.
Offside, unevaded to the quarterback, number 93. Half the distance to the goal, still 3rd down.
Now the 8-year veteran.
You know, 3rd and long, that's where you make big plays, but that's Carter. He jumps off for no reason at all. Just loses focus, not discipline there. You have to maintain some discipline. 3rd and long in this area of the field.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Still 3rd down.
And that's where you really want to make some big plays, because they're going to throw the football, and you have to get a good pass rush, get your hands up, and hopefully get a turnover. And you're knocking on the door for a real quick touchdown here just before halftime. So this is an area where the defense can make some big plays as opposed to giving this Cleveland Browns offense new life facing a 3rd and 5 situation.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it either. The freak Javon Curse out at least the next 4 weeks with a broken foot. He suffered it on the 2nd play of the game in the opener. Win over Philly. On 3rd and 5. Couch has the time. Couch intercepted. Andre Dyson untouched to the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee.
I just told you, this is a dangerous area on the field. This is an opportunity for the defense to make a big play. When you force a team in a passing situation in the shadow of their own end zone, that's when, as a defensive player, you have to have the mindset to make a play. That time, Dyson just jumped the route, picked it off, and an easy touchdown. He walks in after getting the interception.
First time this season that a Cleveland quarterback had been intercepted. Kelly Holcomb did not throw a pick in his 2 starts.
Yeah, he's on the outside. Couch is looking over there the whole time, and that's why he's able to read the pass. And the ball is also thrown behind the receiver, making it an easier opportunity for Dyson to intercept the ball.
Andre Dyson, who suffered a hamstring injury against the Cowboys last week. Some question marks this week whether he would be ready to go. Well, he was ready, and he's got a pick that goes for his 1st career touchdown. Joe Nedney with the extra point, and the Titans take a 21-7 lead.
Well, Dyson, a guy, he started 12 games as a rookie and really struggled at the earlier part of his career. As you see Couch under pressure, he steps up and had plenty of time to throw the ball. He just throws it behind the receiver. Dyson's been making plays ever since. 12 starts as a rookie. He was baptized under fire because he was beat for touchdowns just about every week, and toward the end of the year really came on, began to make plays and settle in that cornerback position. And so far this year, he's gotten off to a really good start. Many of the receivers for Cleveland talked about his speed and his ability to really play the football. You saw there, once the ball's in the air, he's able to make the break, intercepted, and get the touchdown.
What about that man, Tim Couch? You know the kind of pressure he's under. You know that people in Cleveland feel that Kelly Holcomb can be a winner for this team. Butch Davis not getting involved in that controversy. He is stuck behind Tim Couch from the very beginning. And, if you're Kelly Holcomb, you know in the back of your mind, 3 straight years, backup quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl. And he gets an opportunity. He's opened some eyes around the NFL, and here he is watching from the sideline in week 3.
You're talking about Kurt Warner, Trent Dilfer, then last year Tom Brady came on to, take that position. We asked Tim Couch about it. Drew Bledsoe is no longer in New England for a reason. And he said, hey, you have to stay in the game as much as you can.
Andre Davis from the 5. Cleveland just looking for some kind of spark as he got tossed around at the 22-yard line by John Simon. And that was an eye-opener for Tim Couch in our meeting with him. He said, hey, if Drew Bledsoe, a guy that's as established as he is, has to change teams because a backup quarterback comes in and takes his position, There's nobody around the league that's safe.
There is no security, and that's what he's saying. He said, hey, if you're hurt, you have to do your best to get back in there and play. And that's why for the last couple of weeks he was saying, hey, I'm ready to go. And no one knew for sure until he practiced 3 straight days this week and was able to do so without any soreness.
Injured Titan on the field right now. We're trying to figure out that number, and I don't want to speculate, but it looks like Justin McCarron's. We'll take a break. Justin McCarron's number 86 was able to walk off the field. And the Cleveland Browns have it, a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Couch out of the shotgun with 2:50 to go. Here in the first half, Couch across the middle. Kevin Johnson, short gainer on 1st down of 4 yards through the air. Donald Mitchell came in to make the stop.
Now, the problem with the situation Cleveland finds himself in right now, down by 14 points, is the obvious pass situation, and now they're going to come after the quarterback.
Johnson again, and a collision as Johnson took it to the 34-yard line once again with Mitchell, and that's a gain of 9. A 1st down for Cleveland as they hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Out of the gun, Couch, quick decision and a quick throw to Mark Campbell. The tight end from Michigan, Keith Bullock, wrapped him up.
And in this situation, you have to be able to, I think, get the ball more to Jameel White. He's coming out of the backfield. You'll see more of him in this game.
5-yard gain. We've hit the 2-minute warning with Tennessee in front, 21-7. Going sword. He certainly mixed in well with our CBS personalities in the pregame show.
And he has a great personality himself.
On a 2nd and 5, Couch airs it out. And over the head of Quincy Morgan, incomplete.
Yeah, that ball got away from Tim Couch on that one. That's one he knows he should have been able to complete. Morgan is running toward the sideline. He's open. There was room to drop that ball in there.
Halftime, Tennessee leading Cleveland 21-7 as we welcome you back. Coliseum here in Nashville. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcots. These two used to be division rivals. Not the case anymore with the format now that's set up in the NFL and the AFC and the NFC. So far in this game, field position, taking advantage of opportunities. Tennessee has had very good field position, and a couple of chances have certainly gone their way, and some bad penalties on the Cleveland Browns as well.
That's right. The Tennessee Titans have only had 80 yards in total offense, but they've scored 14 points off 2 turnovers. And Tim Couch, they just continue to put pressure on him in terms of their ability to get to the quarterback. But Tennessee's doing an excellent job of putting the pressure on Couch. Only 1 sack, but they forced him to make some bad throws, and they've been able to convert, getting the interception, taking it in for a touchdown. You can see the pressure. Couch having to run, can't find anyone open. And then when he does try to take off, look, they're there to make the tackles. On this one, they forced a bad throw, intercepted by Andre Dyson. He takes it in for the touchdown, and that's really the story of the ball game.
Well, Couch has another half in front of him to try to change opinions in the Cleveland area, because certainly coming into this game, there were question marks from Browns fans thinking that maybe they could catch lightning in a bottle and have one of the backup quarterbacks step forward and lead a team to some greatness.
And Tim Couch told us himself, he said, it's not such a bad thing that this game is being played on the road. Could you imagine this game at Cleveland Browns Stadium and the crowd just right now booing Tim Couch and possibly cheering for Kelly Holcomb, a guy who really put up some good numbers in their first 2 ball games.
And the Browns kick it off to start play here in the second half. On the return, Eddie Berlin, middle of the field, and another flag comes down as Berlin is upended at the 28. And a second flag comes through after some extracurricular activity following the fact that the play was over.
Penalties was a big story in the first half of the ball game. 6 penalties on each team, really allowing both teams to get new life and just have second opportunities to score points.
And right off the bat on the opening kickoff here in the 3rd quarter, penalty flags come flying. Well, Jeff Fisher, so disappointed with the way this team performed last year, and certainly injuries had a lot to do with it, but told us we don't talk about last year anymore. It doesn't come up. We touched on it during the offseason with the players, but he feels everybody in the organization has moved past it.
Well, they've been able to move past it because last year they were last in defending the pass, last in the National Football League. 5 defensive backs that were on the team are no longer in the league.
Holding.
And there's going to be a do-over.
He says, we know it's holding, we just don't know who it's on. So you have to go in conference to figure that out.
Here's take 2 for Larry Nemmers.
Holding during the return, number 59. We have a personal foul, dead ball foul on number 84 of the kicking team. By rule, that's 2 fouls after possession. We'll put the ball at the end of the run. First down, Tennessee.
Peter Sermon, Andre King, the guilty parties, and the ball's going to remain exactly where it ended.
So after all that, the ball's going to stay where it ended after the play.
28-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for Tennessee to open up here in the third quarter. And the officials still huddling up just to make sure they got this one right. Now take a look at the halftime numbers, and for Tennessee, if you just looked at numbers, you'd say, well, there's no possible way they're winning this game by 2 touchdowns. 80 yards of total offense in the first half, but 14 points off of Cleveland turnovers. William Green fumbling after he made a catch, and then Tim Couch throwing that pick to Andre Dyson.
The receiving team's foul was behind the end of the run. We'll put the ball at the spot of their foul, first down.
Okay. So they'll change that up after the first go-around, and they'll back it up to the 24-yard line. Just underway here in the third quarter from Nashville. Each of these teams at 1-1. Cleveland, a bizarre week 1 loss to Kansas City, bounced back with a 20-7 win over Cincinnati last week. Tennessee beat Philly week 1, lost to Dallas in week 2. Handed off to Eddie George. Roy and Warren collaborate to make that stop. It's a gain of 1 for George. Well, Eddie George, we talk about the consecutive streak, 99 straight games that he has started to open up his NFL career. The foot, the elbow, the foot.
Back to the foot again. Yeah, he's been banged up, but he's a guy that he says he feels so much better this year than he felt a year ago when he had a number of issues. He had the foot problems, had the shoulder, had a contusion of the thigh, and so many injuries, too many to count. It really hindered his ability to get off to a good start.
Well, we asked him about the running game first 2 weeks. He said the team has trailed. He couldn't find a rhythm. They lead right now, and it looks like that rhythm is coming to him. Yeah. Brad Hopkins with a block up front, and George picks up 8 yards.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of work here in the second half. They have a 14-point lead. You know anything about Jeff Fisher, he wants to play good, sound defense, get after the quarterback, and he wants to pound you up front. He wants to play smash-mouth football on offense and really try to protect the ball. So you won't see the ball going up the field too far here, at least not too often. They'll elect to stay on the ground with Ed and George.
On a 3rd and 1, it's George again, dancing a bit, and did not get to the marker. No gain. Earl Holmes, first man there, and that's the only problem. Now, when you take that 2-touchdown lead, you start play in the third quarter. And Solomon, you mentioned it. You're right. Jeff Fisher plays the game that way. But you don't want to go away from what has made you successful. And they went conservative on 3rd down, thinking that Eddie George could get a yard. He didn't.
And last week, when Steve McNair was forced to leave the game, he ran into a trunk on the Dallas sideline in the second quarter. Prior to that, the offense really had been clicking. They were at a good mixture of both run and pass. Steve McNair was getting out of the pocket and moving the chains. And once he came back into the game in the third quarter, they really couldn't find any rhythm on offense. So you're right. You have to be careful to make sure that you maintain that rhythm where you can continue to be productive.
Hendrick with a punt to the sideline, and it's out of bounds. So Hendrick gets the job done. They'll spot the football at the 16. But Cleveland trailing by 14.
Telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Titans cornerback Andre Dyson suffered a right hip injury when he got tied up with Andre Davis at the end of the second quarter. He's trying to work his way through it right now on the stationary bike. He is not on the field for Tennessee defensively. His return is questionable. Mike Echols, the rookie out of Wisconsin, takes his spot at corner. 1st and 10. Couch throwing. He finds Johnson in stride, in double coverage, and Kevin Johnson breaks free for a gain of 28.
Tim Couch misfired on some passes in the first half, but this one is on a laser. He drops it in really nice to Johnson, right over the head of the middle linebacker, Frank Chamberlain, who was running down the middle of the field with Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, 4 catches, 50 yards last week and a touchdown. He has 5 touchdowns in 6 career games against the Titans. Hasn't had an opportunity yet this afternoon. So the bad field position for Cleveland to start out with from their own 16, 1 play, and they change that. Couch looking to throw again, and throws it into the ground in the direction of Mark Campbell, just looking to get rid of it.
And there's a flag down, coming down late in the secondary.
Oh, this has been sloppy throughout. And after a number of penalties in the first half, it has carried over here in the early stages second half.
Defensive pass interference. Number 53, spot foul, automatic, 1st down.
That's Keith Bullock, called on defensive pass interference.
And that's why Tim Couch looked out of sorts on that play. That time, Bullock, he's talking about the jam. He was trying to jam the receiver, trying to disrupt the timing, and was able to do that. Just ended up getting the jam too far down the field. You have to do it within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
7-yard penalty puts Cleveland in Tennessee territory at the 49. 14 penalties combined with these 2 teams. Handed off, William Green. No hole to work with. Did he lose the football? Tennessee thinks so.
And boy, would this be just huge. Huge for Tennessee.
And damaging to William Green. Browns felt he was down. Not the case. Schulters comes out of the pack with the ball. Tennessee's got it.
And there's just no reason for William Green to lose the football. This is a simple off-tackle play. Once he makes contact, it appeared that the ball just came out. You have to do a better job of protecting the football. Watch him slam it to the line. He only has the ball in one hand. And once you see there's not any room to run the football, have to protect it with 2 hands, both arms over the football. As soon as he makes contact with Keith Bullock, the ball just squirts right out.
Bullock leveled him. Green getting a talking to from Davis. First 2 weeks you could call it frustrating, but you wouldn't call it error-filled. Today, a different story for Green. This has been a nightmarish afternoon.
Well, any running back in the National Football League, whether it's the 1st round, 2nd, or even the 8th round, you expect them to be able to hold on to the football on a simple off-tackle play. Now, he's a fine running back. I saw him playing his last college game right here at the Coliseum in a win over Georgia in the Music City Bowl. Rushed for 146 yards in that game. He's certainly capable, but he's fighting it. A little bit frustrated and fighting to really be productive, maybe trying a bit too hard.
Cleveland is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner fumbled. We'll review the play.
It's the 2nd time today that Butch Davis has disagreed with a call on the field. He lost on his first coaching challenge. In fact, he didn't even lose on what he was challenging for.
Yeah.
He lost, and it was determined it was no fumble on the first challenge earlier today.
And he may be sensing that there's a knee. Knee did hit the ground, but it looks like he got back up before contact was made. And he may be sensing that, you know what, we have to try it here, because if we turn this ball over, boy, we're putting ourselves in a big hole if Tennessee should convert. You have to give yourself every opportunity you can to maintain possession of the football. And it appeared on the replay that there was a knee of William Green, his right knee, that had hit the ground, but it also appeared that he was able to get back up before contact was made.
Now, right now, Green is staring from the sideline. And again, remember how it works on these challenges. You have to have conclusive evidence to change the decision on the field. So right now, Larry Nemmers has to see something that blatantly shows that Green did not fumble the football, that he was down first. I don't know if he has that look.
I think the replay, now watch the right knee of Green. You'll see he'll buckle a little bit before contact's made. See, okay, he goes down. See the right knee hit? And now there's contact. Here's as though the ball may be still in there at that point. But his right knee was on the ground as Bullock made contact. And I don't think you could see much there to overturn what's already been called on the field. You can't see that he still has the ball, but you can't see if the ball's come out at that point either.
Now Green is by himself, alone with his thoughts after his second fumble.
Okay, here we go again. What you see, you could see Green went down. He'll go down in the right knee. He'll touch the ground. Okay, right there. Okay, see it right there? Right knee is on the ground. There's contact. Appears as though the ball is still in his hand. Yeah, but I tell you, that's going to be really close. Ball was in his hand as contact was made with one knee on the ground. It all happens in a split second. Now, did the officials see it the same way that I saw it? It's going to be tough.
After reviewing the play, there's no conclusive evidence that the runner knee was down before the ball came out. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. It was a fumble. First down, Tennessee. Cleveland will be charged with their first team timeout.
Yeah, I think what they're saying is that, yeah, okay, his knee hit the ground, but it appeared as though he was on his way to getting back up as the contact was made. And you really couldn't tell if the knee was on the ground once contact was made and if he still had the ball. So it just was not enough visual evidence to overturn the call on the field.
That's it. There certainly was not enough to now change the call. You have to have conclusive evidence to make that switch, and the officials didn't see it there. So Tennessee does get the football, a 1st and 10 from the 49. McNair throw underneath to Greg Camella. And Camella gets bounced around as the Browns recover defensively. Dwayne Rudd and Orpheus Roy both involved, along with a number of other Cleveland defenders. And Camella able to pick himself up after the gain of 7.
And the Titans were looking for a fullback. They lost Lorenzo Neal 2 years ago. Last year, they struggling without a fullback. They bring Greg Camella over from the New York Giants. He's not the blocker that Lorenzo Neal was, but he's certainly a more versatile player in his ability to slip out of the backfield and make receptions like what we saw on that play.
And we know one thing. Camella's not going to fire his agent because he represents himself.
Smart kid.
2nd and 3. McNair. Long ball. Separation. And Mason can't hold on to it. In a matchup with Anthony Henry, and the second time today that the normally sure-handed Derek Mason could not haul it in.
It is the second drop he's had, but this is just a marvelous throw by McNair. He gets it over the top to that outside shoulder, exactly where you want to put the ball, over the top of the defensive back to the outside shoulder, leading him out of bounds. That ball snuck up on Mace before he could get visual and see the ball. I think he lost vision on it.
We are at the 11-12 mark of the 3rd quarter, and no Tennessee wide receivers have registered a reception yet today. Yet the Titans lead at 21-7. Now a 3rd and 3. Camella and George in the backfield. Hand it off. Eddie George bangs his way for a first down after he picks up 4. And the umpire takes a hit on the play. Chad Brown able to get up with no problem.
It's a physical game, even for the umpire to come in. That was Devin Bush who plowed right into him, but the old workhorse, Eddie George, coming right through there. Now you see the official. He let me in on the action.
That's a half a tackle right there. That's an assisted tackle.
That's right.
New set of downs for Tennessee to work with. First and 10.
Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel. See guys coming from all directions.
Line of scrimmage is the 38. Camella releases out of the backfield. McNair couldn't handle the snap and falls on it with no major damage, but a loss of 2. Right now we're headed to New York. Jim Nantz with an NFL update.
All right, Ian, at New England, Troy Brown has caught 14 passes today, a single-game Patriot record, including this 9-yard touchdown. Antoine Smith ran for the 2 to tie it at 17 halfway through the 3rd quarter. Let's go back to Ian and Solomon.
Well, some shaky moments early for the Patriots, but they have gotten the equalizer, including that 2-point conversion, as Jim told you, 17 apiece.
Patriots well-coached football team. You know they're going to be there right till the last tick on the clock.
Injury update for Cleveland. We'll tell you about that after this play. Play clock went down to 0. Did they get the play off? McNair wants to throw it long. Up for grabs. Fought for and picked off Anthony Henry. Henry last year led the league with 10 interceptions, and he's got his first pick of the season.
And boy, is he a player. He fought for the ball. Now,
Incomplete pass. Third down.
Oh, there goes that.
well, they're saying he didn't hold on to it. I tell you, he wrestled the ball away from Mason. Now, this is just playing basketball. Whoever has some hops can get the rebound. Look, he takes the ball, fights for it. Looks like he had it to me. Looked like he had it to me. He had both hands on the ball. Now, does he maintain possession after he hits the ground here? They're saying that it slipped out, but from the look there, it appears as though he had it.
Well, for Butch Davis, already using up 2 challenges today. Unable to question it, McNair. After the quick snap and the throw to the sideline, Kevin Dyson. Incomplete, out of bounds. Gerard Warren provided pressure on McNair.
You know, they haven't really been able to get the sack on McNair. That time they flushed him out of the pocket. Most of the day, he's been making his throws from inside. This time he rolls out to his right. He's still able to get that ball there. I don't know why he couldn't make the reception, because both feet were already on the ground. It was a good throw by McNair. The receivers just aren't doing a good job of holding on to the ball for him today.
Well, what a strange afternoon it's been. A couple of calls that easily could have gone the other way. What looked like an interception for Henry, and it's not going to matter because Tennessee is forced to punt anyway, was negated. Dennis Northcutt came in leading the NFL in punt return average. This one unreturnable. And again, the Browns are pinned back deep. 21-7 Tennessee. 21-7 Tennessee leading Cleveland. Quick injury update for the Browns. Brent Boyer, left leg injury. X-rays did come back negative. His return is a question mark for this second half. Right now, Cleveland on offense, and they have to get something going. A 1st and 10 from their own 9. Handed off. William Green. 2 fumbles today, and Green is stood up at the line of scrimmage, picks up a yard. Keith Bullock again makes a play defensively.
And boy, is that showing confidence in the rookie running back to give him the ball after 2 fumbles in this ball game in the shadow of your own end zone. That's showing some tremendous trust in the young running back. Butch Davis determined to make a player out of Green. Really believes in the rookie and understands that he'll come on. He says he just needs the opportunity, needs the reps, believes that he'll come on eventually.
4th consecutive possession where the Browns have had poor field position. Now a 2nd and 9 from the 10. Couch fakes the throw, and Couch dives down for a 1st down at the 20-yard line. Tim Couch keeps it. And let's say this, Solomon, it's not a good sign when Tim Couch is your leading rusher. And today he is for the Browns.
That's exactly what's happened. You can see the pressure coming in from the middle. But he can see, he gets out. Good pocket awareness. That's what Bruce Arians says. He says, you know, today in the National Football League, quarterbacks have to know enough and have enough information so that they can just survive. He says Tim Couch is seeing more now. He can see the blitzes. He knows where the pressure is coming from. He's able to stay healthy because he's able to make the right decision.
3 rushes for Couch, 23 yards, and a 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Quick throw on an out pattern. Quincy Morgan makes that catch. Mike Eccles, filling in for Andre Dyson, was there with the coverage, a pickup of 9.
And there you see the effects of the chemistry and the timing that both Couch and Quincy Morgan have. This ball was thrown before Morgan even came out of his break. He turns around. The ball was right on the money from Tim Couch. Morgan was able to catch the ball, get both feet in bounds before he even took a hit from a defender.
29-yard line. Line of scrimmage for Cleveland on a 2nd and 1. 21-7, Tennessee leading the Browns. Green by himself in the backfield. Flags down. Green trying to break one. William Green finds a lane. And Green is tossed down at the 42-yard line. 13-yard run. That is the longest of his young career.
That's the longest run for the Cleveland Browns. They came into this game, did not have a run over 10 yards. It's going to be penalty down.
Defense, number 79, offside. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
So the 13-yard run will stand for Green, and you're right, Solomon. That's the longest run from scrimmage for Cleveland so far in the first 3 games.
You have to give credit to Tim Couch because it was the hard count that drew the Tennessee Titans offside. There were several guys who actually jumped. I only called it on one guy, but they could have called it on maybe 3 different guys on that front line.
Browns come in averaging an AFC worst 2.85 yards per rush. Empty backfield now. Couch to throw it over the middle. Jamel White. He got leveled by Bullock in a pickup of 3.
We asked the coaches about this matchup. Bruce Arians, the Browns offensive coordinator, said they were a little concerned about Bullock. They know he can really roam over the middle of that field. He runs really well. He reacts, can read everything. They run the arrow route with Jamel White slipping out of the backfield, trying to get underneath the linebacker. The reason why, you get underneath that linebacker, Bullock, that ball goes a long way. Bullock is so adept at making tackles in the open field on the quick backs.
Couch has completed 5 straight passes. This is a 2nd and 8 from the 45. Little floater, asking Northcutt to do something after the catch. Lunging forward to midfield. And Northcutt picks up 5 yards on the pass. Schulters and Eccles bring him down.
The safeties in the Bear defense, this 46 defense that the Titans run, have to be very active. We saw Tank Williams earlier come up from his blitzing position. Lance Schulters, that time, he had to come a long way to make that play on Northcutt, but he can run really well. Makes plays in the open field, in the box. Really fine plays.
3rd and 3. Fans trying to rally up the defense here. From the 50. White goes in motion, and Couch will use a timeout. Cleveland has just 1 remaining after Butch Davis lost one following the coach's challenge. Kelly Holcomb grew up 75 miles away from here in Fayetteville, Tennessee, attended Middle Tennessee State. But the Blue Raiders lost to Kentucky, Tim Couch's alma mater, 44-22 yesterday. They had a gamble on it. They'll tell you what was at stake in a moment. 3rd and 3. Couch, important play from scrimmage. Tim Couch floats one up high and too far for Jamel White. Keith Bullock in a matchup once again with White, and Cleveland forced to punt. Well, Tim Couch's team won that game yesterday, and Holcomb now is going to have to pay up a Morton steak dinner. Tim Couch already has his menu picked out. He told us he's going to go with the double filet, Caesar salad, chocolate Godiva, all on a backup quarterback salad.
That's right. It amazes me how some acquire an improved taste for the culinary arts, especially when someone else is paying for it.
Well, right now, Cleveland just wasted an opportunity after getting themselves out of tough field position to midfield, but couldn't convert on 3rd down. Gardocki into the end zone, and this one is coming back to the 20. 49-yard punt, but a net of 29. Tennessee and Jeff Fisher remain in control here in the 3rd. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Titans in a 3-receiver set. Handoff, Eddie George. And he picks up 2 yards. Kennard Lang with the tackle on George. It's not as if Tennessee has big numbers running the football, Solomon, but it's been effective enough. And obviously, with what shows on the scoreboard right now, you'll just keep doing it until Cleveland can actually show you something offensively.
Not overly impressive numbers by Eddie George, at least running the football, but he's done a good job of running it, I think, in important situations and short yardage situations, in 3rd and 1 and 2nd and 2, and he's been able to really keep the chains moving. Then he's caught the ball well out of the backfield as well and picked up some 1st downs.
7th overall game for him against Cleveland. His 14th touchdown against the Browns earlier. Bootleg on a rollout. There's the connection to Mason. Derek Mason is spun down at the 31-yard line. And the first time a Titan wide receiver has made a catch here today.
As Cleveland had come in saying, hey, we want to stop the run. Okay, we showed you Eddie George numbers, 2.8 yards per carry so far in the game. So the Browns have been able to do that. And they're forcing the Titans in some of the obvious passing situations. That time, Titans didn't wait till 3rd down to throw the ball. They used their 2nd down to do it, try to catch the Cleveland Brown defense off guard.
It's been the running backs getting most of the work in the passing game so far for Tennessee. New set of downs to work with from the 31. Here's George. And a flag down. Kennard Lang with a stop from behind. But penalty markers after the 4-yard gain.
It's going to go against the Titans. It's going to come back.
Holding. Number 64 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, we asked Kennard Lang about facing Steve McNair, and he said, hey, no big deal. I come from the NFC East. I'm used to going up against Donovan McNabb. Nothing's going to shock me from Steve McNair.
Yeah, and then he also talked about their inability to stop the run, and he expects more from this defense. He says, hey, you know what? We look like a Mercedes, but so far we've been riding like a Yugo. They've been cruising along too well.
On a 1st and 19 from the 22. Handed off to Mike Green getting the carry. Green had to be ready this week because of the injury to Eddie George. Andre Davis, the rookie from Florida, makes the tackle. So Green did see some time in practice earlier in the week, and then as the week went on, George told us really Wednesday night he started to feel a lot better in that left foot. By Thursday, he felt he could run at about 75%, and then Friday he took all of the reps with the first team in practice.
Yeah, but there was some concern earlier in the week. You know, the pain hadn't subsided in the fashion that they had hoped to, and it just took a little bit longer to heal than what they had hoped.
On 2nd and 13, McNair floats it. Simon, the rookie. He got taken down by the shoelaces. Dalen McCutcheon, and a gain of 3 on the pass. Well, for Tennessee, not a lot to go to if Eddie George is not healthy. Yes, Mike Green played in NFL Europe, was actually the offensive MVP in 2001. Simon, a rookie. Camella, very little in terms of the rushing game. He was used in the passing game with the New York Giants. It's all Eddie George.
Yeah, and they had signed Robert Holcomb during the offseason, but he's out for a number of weeks with an injury, so it's not much behind Eddie George as he keeps his consecutive game streak alive.
Holcomb out 6 to 8 weeks with a hip injury. On a cross, he gets it to Mason. But the passing downfield, we just haven't seen it for Tennessee. McCutcheon wraps him up, gain of 5, and Tennessee forced to punt.
Good job by the defense. McCutcheon running it with a very speedy Mason, but is able to make the tackle after the catch. No yards after the catch. That's why they're coming off the field on 3rd down and forcing the Titans to punt.
Craig Hendrick, his 6th attempt of the day. McNair, by the way, 11 of 17, just 64 yards through the air. Dennis Northcutt waiting. Has to range over after the floating punt. Moves up, returnable kick. Northcutt is dangerous in the open field. Crossing midfield. Northcutt down the sideline. Northcutt in a foot race, and he's gone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Exactly what the Browns needed. 74 yards.
That's what Butch Davis needed. He was saying, don't you dare let that tackle, that punter, I should say, make the tackle and bring you down. You get one-on-one in the open field with the punter. You have to make a miss, ensure the touchdown, because they need points and they need them in a hurry. Northcutt picking up some fine blocking. There you see, making the punter miss, and from there he's off to the races, taking it to the house for a touchdown.
Northcutt came into this game leading the NFL, 14.3 yards on punt returns so far, and the first that he has taken back for a touchdown in his short career. So despite the fact that Tennessee has been controlling the action, they had the 2-touchdown lead. Cleveland has gotten back into it with 1:25 to go. In the 3rd, Butch Davis and the Browns fired up. It's 21-14 Titans. Dennis Northcutt had a receiving touchdown week 1 in the loss to Kansas City. Has just added a punt return for a touchdown to his resume. Tennessee, first time that Alan Lowry's crew, the special teams coach, first time they've allowed a touchdown on a punt return since '95. Andre Hastings. Then with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that's what you don't want if you're Tennessee.
Well, not especially considering the way they were controlling action. Thursday on CBS, don't miss the new drama TV Guide calls Inventive, Stylish, a perfect fit with CSI without a trace. Premieres Thursday, 10, 9 Central, after CSI on CBS.
The Titans offense has disappeared without a trace so far here in the second half. They've gone a little bit conservative, really electing to run the ball more than anything, and they've had opportunities to throw the ball up the field. The receivers have dropped the football. Now let's see if they can regain some rhythm, because they're going to have to attack this Cleveland Brown defense. They just can't sit back and hold the football.
25 running plays so far for Tennessee, 17 via the pass. Play fake. McNair has the time, finds a seam, one-handed attempt by Mason, falls incomplete. Robert Griffith was ready to plow him.
Just one of the few times that McNair is off the mark. This ball's thrown behind and way too high. Mace does a good job of trying to get one hand up because defensive backs are taught to intercept tips and overthrows. That ball appeared to be selling over the head of Derek Mason until he was able to extend and get one hand up. I think he may have saved an interception there.
2nd and 10 for Tennessee. Only 125 total yards, and Eddie George. Nothing there. Dwayne Rudd helping to make that stop after a gain of 1.
Now the Cleveland Browns defense is getting new life. They're getting some momentum. They're in the obvious passing situation, 3rd and long, and this is where the defensive backs really like to tighten up the coverage and want to jump on any route they can and try to create a turnover, shorten the field for the offense and try to tie up the football game.
Browns have done a good job defensively here today. It's not their fault that this team is down on the scoreboard. Turnovers have really hurt Butch Davis's club. Here's McNair on a 3rd and 9. Time winding down here in the 3rd, and McNair up high. And McCarrans has just taken a pop from Griffith.
Now this ball sails high on McNair. Wasn't able to set his feet because McCarran sort of slipped behind the cornerback, found a soft spot in the zone, and he's open. The ball just goes too high. He was there, ready to make the reception. And Griffin, he comes over and get the hit. But look, here's McCarran slipping behind Anthony Henry, who jumps the route in the flat. He's open. McNair not able to set his feet and throw the ball accurately.
4th down, Titans will punt it. And the Cleveland Browns are going to get the football back with a chance to tie this game up. 35 seconds to go on the 3rd. Hendrick. High punt. Northcutt comes in. Short punt. Takes a Tennessee roll. Flag down. And it's touched up at the 43-yard line. 36-yard punt. Favorable bounce for Tennessee. And we'll see what the penalty is. Hendrick certainly did not get all of that one. 6 penalties on Cleveland today, 9 on the Titans. And we talked to Jeff Fisher about penalties and how it affected his team last year.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. He said 53% of the penalties came either before the snap or after the whistle. He said these are things that are in our control. We can control these things. We have to give ourselves a chance to be more successful.
The kicking team had an illegal man downfield, number 5-4. That penalty is declined. The receiving team had an illegal block in the back, number 36. That penalty will be accepted at the spot of the run. 1st down.
Well, so Rocky Kalmus called for Tennessee. Chris Akins for the Cleveland Browns. And the football will be spotted. Where exactly? 43-yard line is where they have it now. Now they're going to march it back. After that penalty was called on the Browns. Now Cleveland now raising their arms. Butch Davis screaming in the direction of the officials.
There's been some confusion with the penalties and the interpretation of the penalties throughout this ball game. There's been so many of them. But Butch Davis is wondering, how can this go against us?
Well, they turned down a penalty from Tennessee, which was curious.
Yeah.
Maybe Butch didn't realize there was a penalty on his
him
team
as well. He said, you have to explain that to me so that I know what my options are. There's no way he's going to decline a penalty and then have them lose yards and have them start back further than they would normally.
They had excellent field position, and that's why he turned it down. But the assumption is that he didn't know there was a penalty flag on his team. Well, it's been sorted out. And it's a 10-yard penalty, and they're going to spot the football now at the 33-yard line.
Well, this is where the Tennessee Titans defense now has to stand up. Cleveland has not been able to run the ball effectively. You know Couch is going to have to throw the ball. They have their forward wide receiver set with one back in the backfield.
Crowd getting energized. Tim Couch, late stages, third quarter, his team down by a touchdown. Shovels ahead for Jamel White. White makes a cut and sidesteps his way to the 35-yard line. He picks up 2.5, 3 yards, depending on the spot. Robert Smith providing the heat on Couch. And that will be final play of the third quarter. Well, this game has turned in the third, and it turned on a special teams play. Dennis Northcutt taking one the distance for a touchdown off a punt return. End of the third. Titans 21, Browns 14. Back to the Coliseum after this message. Start of the fourth quarter from Nashville. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots, our entire CBS crew. 21-14. Tennessee leading Cleveland. Kelly Holcomb, 2 starts this year in the first 2 games. A 1-1 record for the Browns. They should have won week 1. And Holcomb had been spectacular for Cleveland at the quarterback position. Tim Couch, the normal starter, making his first start. First play here in the fourth. Dennis Northcutt able to make something happen after the catch, and it's gain of 11.
Well, the good quarterbacks in the National Football League have to be able to bring their team back and win football games, particularly when you're on the road. You're not going to be a front runner in this league. So that's what Tim Couch is facing today. He got some help from the defense. He's gotten some help from special teams. The offense really hasn't done much since the first possession of the game. But here in the fourth quarter, he has an opportunity to put his stamp on this football team and get his team going in the right direction.
One thing he told us watching from the sideline, he realized just how good his receivers are. He's going to need them. Got rid of it. Looked like it hit the ground as Jamel White tried an acting job. Kevin Carter able to get his hands on Tim Couch in the backfield.
Well, now he needs some help from his offensive line. He's going to need time to throw the ball. It's a 5-step drop. By the time he sets up, you can see Kevin Carter's right in his face. He doesn't even have time to look up the field. And number 79, Barry Stokes, gets beat on the play by Kevin Carter.
Tim Couch, 1 sack today. He's been hurried 11 times. Kelly Holcomb cheering him on from the sideline. It's always interesting, that dynamic. Starting quarterback, backup quarterback, and the relationship. Flag down. Couch. He's devoured. In the pocket, Kevin Carter among those white jerseys in on the play. But was Henry Ford offsides?
It was number 92. Ford was the guy. You have to give Couch some credit. He's working the hard count.
92 offside. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Couch knows that this offensive line, they've had to juggle some personnel. 3 guys are playing new positions. You can see, watch the head there by Couch. He bobbles. That's the hard count. That pulls Henry Ford off. It's really all to help that offensive line, to try to help them get some rhythm so that they can give him the protection he needs to look up the field and make some completions.
Wolabaugh, the center, out with a broken hand, so O'Hara, the right guard, is in at center. Zukowskis, a second-year player from BC, moves up to start at right guard, and Tucker is out at right tackle. They try the running play with White, and he picks up 4 yards as Ford and Thornton up the middle make that tackle.
And it's really tough when the offensive line has yet to get some cohesion. You can't really rely on those guys to fill up all the holes up front, create room in the running game, and then to provide some protection for your quarterback. And that's why you see the Cleveland Browns throwing more short patterns than what we saw in the last couple of weeks. So it's still a work in progress. Mel White has to run off. And I think they were trying to get him to the game for William Green on this play.
Big play early in this fourth quarter, a 3rd and 1. Shift the formation, 3 tight end set.
See, they have to tell Green what to do, but he doesn't know what to do on the play. Tim Couch is forced to call a timeout. They wanted to get Jamel White in.
Final timeout for the Browns. They've used it up at the 13:07 mark. Confusion on offense. Browns forced to use their final timeout. Solomon, why? Why did it get to that situation?
They were trying to get to their package where Jamel White was going to come on and play the running back position. They like to get him out of the backfield, throw the ball to him, but they couldn't. He was forced to run off the field, and William Green, the rookie, was forced to stay on the field. He didn't know what the play was. Tim Couch forced to use their final timeout.
So now it's a 3 tight end set on an important 3rd and 1. Couch wants to throw for the first down, floats it upstairs and juggled, almost intercepted by Samari Roll. Quincy Morgan was the target for Cleveland.
We said that Tim Couch needed to make some plays to bring his team back. They bring Morgan all the way from the other side of the field. This ball just hangs up in the air. Got to lead him a little bit further toward the sideline. There was plenty of room, but Samari Roll able to drive on the upfield shoulder, come underneath, and make a play on the ball.
Yeah, he tried to finesse that one, and he came up short as Roll was able to close in on the youngster Morgan.
And you have to lead him all the way over to the sideline, allow him to run away from coverage.
Chris Gardocki with John Simon waiting, and Simon will fair catch it at the 16-yard line. We'll take a break. Come right back. Are playing.
Hey, they take their music serious here in Nashville.
Tennessee 21, Cleveland 14. Titans get the football back. Eddie George spilled out as Dalen McCutcheon helped make that play. No gain on first down, so Tennessee continues to stick with the running game, and it's not working.
It's not a bad idea. You have to continue to try to pound away. On second down, you would hope to have maybe 2nd and 5, 2nd and medium, and then have the option of a run or a pass play. But one way or another, they're going to have to convert on 3rd down. They're going to have to make some plays in the passing game in order to put Cleveland away in this football game.
Right now, it's split up right down the middle. 64 rushing yards, 64 passing yards for Tennessee. On 2nd and 10, deep drop. McNair guns one. Wide open, Mason makes the catch at the 33. And a first down for Tennessee.
Mason was a little bit surprised. He thought he was going to be led across the field. He breaks it off inside, gets the separation. Look, he has to throw on the brakes to sit down and catch that ball. He expected McNair to lead him over the middle so he could catch the ball and continue running, something he's one of the best in the league at, making the catch and picking up big gains afterwards.
After back-to-back 100-yard days to lead off the 2002 season, Mason has been held in check today, just his 2nd catch. Eddie George brought down quickly. Kennard Lang, the former Redskin.
Lang just blows this one up. He gets penetration right away, working against Fred Miller. You see him slips underneath, beats the tackle underneath. You can't let that happen if you're Fred Miller. You have to get inside out leverage on Kennard Lang, who uses his quickness. Got the Harlem Shake going on there, but he uses his quickness to get underneath and makes a phenomenal play as he comes in to make the tackle.
Lang is called the people's choice because he gives the people what they want. At least that's what he says. We'll have to trust him. 2nd and 12 from the 31. McNair, passing situation. Dump it off, Eddie George. And George gets stamped out across the 45. Browns felt that it was a live football, and it is. No whistle. Dwayne Rudd is running. Dwayne Rudd out of bounds inside the 10.
Oh, what a strange sequence. It appeared as though he was down, but we heard no whistle blow. Eddie George can't believe what happened.
Eddie George was slow to get up. It looked like everybody stopped for a moment, thinking the play was over.
Certainly, he makes the play, he catches the ball, and let's watch and see what happens. There he's hit. Wow, it's going to be close. It certainly would be worth reviewing. It appeared as though he hit the ground, ball came out almost simultaneously. It appeared as though they both happened at the same time. But no whistle blew, and so if you're Dwayne Rudd, you do the right thing. Pick the ball up and continue to advance the ball forward.
And Jeff Fisher is going to challenge this one. It has been a long afternoon for this officiating crew. And Larry Nemmers right now talking to his head linesman Dale Williams to get on the same page.
And Jeff Fisher's already letting the fans know it's our ball.
When Tennessee had the ball at the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Tennessee,
wow.
45.
So the whistle did blow. Cleveland just kept going with it. And Dwayne Rudd, Johnny on the spot, thought he had a big gainer off a fumble recovery.
Now, here's the rule. The whistle cannot cause a dead ball unless the ball hit the ground. Now, does the ball hit the ground? Yes. They're saying that the whistle blew, so they can't even go back to review as to whether or not it was a fumble, because they're saying that once the ball hit the ground, the whistle blow, it's a dead ball. Had the ball not hit the ground, then the whistle cannot cause a dead ball.
Well, guess what? Cleveland has no challenges anyway left. So
that's right, and no timeout.
Take a listen.
You hear a whistle, but it was way late. It was after the ball had already been picked up by Dwayne Rudd.
So Tennessee holds on to the football. The fumble recovery negated. Officials said the whistle had been blown. McNair, second right for this Tennessee offense, and Greg Camella thrown down as he crossed midfield by Earl Holmes. A gain of 6. Dwayne Rudd also involved in that stop.
Now, if you're the Cleveland Browns, you have to put that play out of your memory. It didn't happen. You have to come back and make your own breaks. When you play defense, you can dictate the tempo. You have to hit, run, fly to the ball, strip it, do whatever you have to do. And I'm sure that's what Coach Fazio is telling his defensive players. He's the defensive coordinator. He's like, hey, guys, put it behind you. Let's go out and make a play.
2nd and 4 for Tennessee. Under 10 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter. Titans leading by 7. On a pitch, George cuts it upfield. And George dances his way for a first down out across the 45. He picks up 5.
Now the Browns keep one eye on the clock and one eye on the football. As you know, Tennessee, they're just going to try to pound right here. You have to make some plays in the trenches. Kennard Lang made a play earlier on this drive, being able to slip underneath the tackle and make a tackle in the backfield. So they're going to have to really call some plays, allowing this defense to get some penetration and blow up the running game, because they're going to try to pound you even more so with Eddie George.
Dwayne Rudd lost his helmet on that play. No penalty, though. It's a low blow. I shouldn't have gone there. 1st and 10 from the 45. And McNair is sacked by Lang.
Lang just continues to make plays. He's giving Fred Miller all he can handle over there at the left tackle position. But Lang, coming from that left defensive end, he just continues to apply pressure, getting to Steve McNair. He said, hey, we're used to going after McNabb. You see, he beats number 71, Fred Miller, able to get another sack. But that's what they have to do on defense. We talked about Coach Fazio being able to call some plays that are going to allow his defensive linemen to pin their ears back and get some penetration and blow up some plays.
Lang, his first sack as a member of the Cleveland Browns, and it's 2nd and 16 for Tennessee. Draw play. Mike Green trying to get out of that crowded area and can't do it. He picks up just a yard.
And the crowd doesn't like it. They're wanting to see the ball go up the field, do more than just trying to slam it in the middle, but that's what the Titans want to do. They expected to push with that offensive line. Eddie George not in the game, standing on the sideline watching. But this Cleveland Browns defense is tightened up, forcing a 3rd and long situation. And now Tennessee is forced to pass the ball. You might see a screen play, maybe a draw, but secondary for the Browns have to be ready to make a play. Can ill afford to allow the Titans to pick up the first down.
3rd and long so far for Tennessee today. It has not been kind to the Titans. This is a 3rd and 14 and a deep drop. McNair pump fake. McNair trying to run for the first down. Cuts it upfield. Steve McNair. Oh, it's going to be just short.
Boy, McCutcheon trips him up, and if he doesn't get the foot of Steve McNair, he easily gets the first down.
12 yards for McNair.
What I like about Steve, look, he keeps his vision up the field. Even after he starts to move, look, he still wants to make the throw. He's just not running to take up, but you know what? You have to commit sometime, and once he does, you can see McCutcheon just grab the foot, trips McNair up. Right there, he's able to grab the foot, and had he not been able to do that, it would have been a for sure first down.
They could have attempted a 54-yard field goal. They will not. Greg Hendrick will punt it. Dennis Northcutt, who's got Cleveland back in this game, lost the football. Northcutt couldn't hold on. Mike Green on recovery. And Tennessee has redeemed itself on special teams.
And Northcutt give it, and Northcutt take it away. returned a punt earlier in the game in the third quarter for a touchdown. And this one he drops and just hands the game, the ball, and everything else back over to the Tennessee Titans.
Dennis Northcutt never really got a good handle on that one as he turned his body.
Well, the one thing is he's inside the 10-yard line. That's a bad decision anyway to try to catch the football. You're always taught never fair catch the ball inside the 10-yard line. That ball was kicked inside the 10 where he tried to catch it. He should have just moved away and really waved everyone else away from the football.
And now Tennessee has it, a 1st and goal from the 9. Handed off. George drives himself forward, and Earl Holmes makes sure it's nothing more than a yard and a half. Clock is moving. Cleveland has no timeouts left. 6:28 and counting remaining in the 4th. Jeff Fisher saw a special teams breakdown earlier in the 3rd, which allowed Cleveland to get back into this game. And now his special teams able to make a play after Dennis Northcutt made a very bad decision inside the 10.
And Jeff Fisher, you could see him over there. Its defense has played well, but they really have had some really good breaks. Despite the many penalties they've had the ball bounce in their direction all day long.
2nd and goal from the 8. Pitch. George looks for a hole. And George is brought down from behind inside the 5. It's Holmes that cut him down before he could cross the goal line.
They're going off at the left side of the offensive line, just pounding. You see Wycheck over there. Brad Hopkins pulling tackle and just slicing it right up in there. Earl Holmes able to make a really good tackle on Eddie George. George has been able to really make the first guy miss most of the day. Earl Holmes, a fine tackler as he comes over from the Pittsburgh Steelers to play that middle linebacker position for the Browns.
3rd and goal for Tennessee. Titans trying to put this one out of reach, and it looks like they're going to use a timeout. They will. Stops the clock with 5:11 to go in the 4th. Titans still have 2 timeouts remaining. They lead by 7 and a chance to get more.
Thursday after CSI.
Tim Couch hoping his defense can make a play with just over 5 minutes to go here in the 4th. Tennessee with a 21-14 lead and a 3rd and goal. Double tight end set. Kinney is in there for the Titans. Long count for McNair. And movement on that right side of Tennessee's line, left side of Cleveland's line. Wycheck and Lang.
Offense, number 89, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And it is the tight end for Tennessee. So that's going to change the situation as they back it up.
Just really poor discipline all day long. The 11th penalty of the game for the Titans. Wycheck moves, and you know what? You can point all you want, but they caught you, Frank.
Well, they will put the football at the 7-yard line now. And it changes the philosophy if you're Tennessee. 3 receiver look. Drew Bennett now on the field for the Titans. 3rd and goal. Titans lead by a touchdown. Fake the pitch. McNair circling. McNair throwing. End zone. Touchdown. Kevin Dyson for Tennessee.
Just a well-timed play. Dyson drives deep into the end zone. He's able to come off and make the catch. Working against Corey Fuller over in the end zone. They just reverse bootleg. He comes back, gets inside positions, able to fight his way back to the ball to give McNair an easy target in the corner of the end zone.
Well, the Dyson brothers have showed up on the scoreboard today, each with a touchdown. And Tennessee may have put this one out of reach. First catch of the day for Kevin Dyson. And the Titans now lead it 28-14. We're in the 4th. Tennessee Titans taking advantage of Cleveland mistakes, and they now lead it 28-14 with 5:06 left on the clock here in the 4th quarter. From the Coliseum, McNair to Dyson. 7 yards through the air after Dennis Northcutt could not handle a punt. inside the 10-yard line. And you made the point, Solomon. It's a very good one. If you're a punt returner, that's one where you've got to let it drop. And maybe there's a chance it rolls into the end zone. Andre Davis will take a knee. And a touchback for Cleveland. Coming up, don't forget, it's the Subway postgame show here on CBS. Jim, Dion, Dan, Boomer, and the special guest of the day, Jerome Bettis. They'll have today's scores and highlights. That's coming up after our coverage here in Nashville. It's the Subway postgame show.
Well, you can see today's turnovers. 21 points the Titans have scored off 3 turnovers by the Cleveland Browns. 3 fumbles, 1 interception. And that's really putting the nail in your own coffin if you're the Cleveland Browns. Have to do a better job of protecting the football. They had some opportunities to win the game here today.
Now Cleveland in a 14-point hole. Incomplete. And some action following the play. And the officials will take care of that. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Browns. John Thornton got mixed up with Sean O'Hara.
Well, there's going to be a lot of speculation in Cleveland as to whether or not should Kelly Holcomb play or Tim Couch. But really, you turn the ball over as much as they did today. I don't think whoever you have at quarterback really doesn't matter. Although Tim Couch did throw an interception that led to a touchdown. But the fumbles and the miscues with personnel groupings and the timeouts and things of that nature really conspired against them.
Zings one to Jamel White. And White, from the blind side, got clobbered after the gain of 3. Kevin Carter brought him down. So you think the radio phone lines are already lit up in Cleveland right now?
I'm sure they will be, because certainly Couch struggled at times. I mean, he came out in the first quarter and really looked good to start the day. And you see, he just made that throw to Kevin Johnson. So there's been times when he's thrown the ball really accurately, you know, just like he did in the preseason before the injury. He was a guy that really lit up the offense, and they had it going, had the chemistry. And I think for a guy who hadn't played in 2 weeks and came back, I think he's had a good showing today. It was so many other mistakes that really contribute to the loss as well. Certainly we don't want to take any of the responsibility that he shares in this loss, because when you throw an interception down in your end of the field and it's turned for a touchdown, you know what? You have to take some responsibility for that.
21-yard completion to Kevin Johnson, giving Cleveland a first down at their own 44. Couch set up the screen for White. Jamel White, he's like a jitterbug out there. His feet are moving so fast after he makes the catch. Kevin Aldridge, the defensive end, brings him down, a gain of 7.
I think when the phones do light up in Cleveland, it'll be more about who should play that running back position, William Green or the more veteran Jamil White, who certainly is a spark. Remember, Green has fumbled twice in this ball game.
2nd and 3 out of the shotgun. Couch, strong throw on 2nd down. Johnson able to shed 1 tackler and taken down at the 41-yard line of Tennessee. That's a gain of 9 through the air. Well, Cleveland not done yet, as Green is watching this one from the sideline. There's still 3:48 to go, but the Browns have no timeouts left, and they trail by 14. Couch into double coverage, knocked up in the air and incomplete. He was trying to squeeze one into Quincy Morgan, but Rich Cody, safety, who comes in on nickel and dime looks, able to get a piece of it.
And they're now starting to throw the ball more up the field than they did earlier in the ball game. And I think that's one of the things they have to continue to do. They have hit on some plays up the field. I think these young receivers are really starting to come into their own. I think when you look at the offensive line, their inability to give Tim Couch consistent protection, I think you have to really put the responsibility on every player in the offense. I think everyone in the Cleveland Browns offense could have played better today.
Out of the shotgun, a flip for Jamel White. White trying to get towards that sideline out of bounds, but then he is gang tackled after the gain of 1. Cleveland, this is their first road game. They'll be on the road again next week at Pittsburgh, a team that is thirsty for a win. Meanwhile, Tennessee will have to travel to Oakland after the Raiders had an off week and time to prepare for the Tennessee Titans. Coming up on 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Well, Pittsburgh has the bye week, but they're trying to correct problems in their secondary. Sure, Cleveland's going to look to attack them, throwing the ball up the field.
Couch on a cross to Quincy Morgan. Morgan after the catch. And it'll certainly look good on the stat sheet, but is it coming too late for the Cleveland Browns? It's a pickup of 17 on the pass and catch. Couch to Morgan.
Well, it's never too late to continue to work your game. And Quincy Morgan's a young player, has to understand that whenever you're on the football field, you do your best to make plays and to be positive in terms of putting the ball in the end zone and trying to move the chains. And that time he did his job. But this offense has to continue to work. As long as there's time left on that clock, you always want to take a chance. They can get the touchdown and then go for the onside kick. So this game is not over.
1st and 10 from the 24. Movement. Flags down. Couch is at a free play for him. Jamel White breaks one tackle. Dances his way to the 17-yard line. And some laundry on the field as Lance Schulters is laid out on his back.
Not only is there an injury, there was also a flag. Now, Jamel White trying to get up the field. He has to know the situation, try to get out of bounds.
Defense, offside number 91. Penalty is declined.
Albert Hainsworth on the penalty. Right now, the
Second
concern
down
for Tennessee is Lance Schulters, the talented 5th-year safety from Hofstra, signed as a free agent from San Francisco. A versatile player, a highly coveted free agent. He's got leadership abilities. He's a big hitter.
And here you see Schulters right here. He's going to come up, try to make the tackle here. Let's see if we can find out what happened. He reaches in, but now he's on the ground. He looks like he's holding his hand or his forearm. Sometimes when you throw that forearm in and the running back is told to keep his feet moving, and sometimes you can get kicked, and that forearm bone is not as big and strong as some think it is. If you catch a whipping leg, it could really do some damage, and let's hope that it's the best situation for Lance. He's a fine player, a good pickup this offseason. He's a guy that's really learning a very complicated 46 defense. Jeff Fisher said they're starting to do less, but he's a guy that has a lot to learn in very little time.
As we keep an eye on Schulters, he told us that this was his second choice. He would have rather have stayed in San Francisco. They just didn't have the money to re-sign him. Coming up next Sunday, doubleheader games. Ricky Williams, Priest Holmes collide. The Dolphins take on the Chiefs. Other action as well. And in the second game, many of you will see Tom Brady and the Patriots against Drew Brees and the Chargers. All starts with Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer. That's our first team on the NFL Today, right here on CBS.
Have both sides of the ball covered. Two really good quarterbacks and one of the best defensive backs to ever play the game.
2nd and 3. Cleveland running out of time. 2:49 left. Down 28-14. Another flag. And Couch incomplete. Dennis Northcutt, the intended receiver. Ross Verba, a little bit slow to get up.
Number 93 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. The 5 yards will result in a first down.
Now Kevin Carter shaking his head. That is the 12th penalty of the day against the Titans. They have matched their total in the first 2 games.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous because now you're allowing Cleveland to really claw their way back into the game. There's plenty of time on the clock. They hit a play here in the end zone, and now they're looking to kick an onside kick with still more than 2 minutes left on the clock.
10th play of the drive. Couch orchestrating this offense out of the shotgun. Steps up, fires towards the end zone, incomplete. Morgan in double coverage.
Now, this is where Tim Couch has to make something happen. He had Jamel White slipping out to the left side. He decided to go on the other side of the field, but Keith Bullock, the linebacker, matched up against Jamel White. So far, Bullock has really done a good job in that matchup, but you have to believe that a much quicker, more athletic Jamel White is going to be able to get open, at least find some room for Couch to get the ball in there.
2:41 left here in the 4th on a 2nd and 10. 4 receivers set for Cleveland. Couch steps up, guns it to the end zone. Caught by Davis. Touchdown Cleveland. 2nd of the day for the rookie Andre Davis. Oh, what a standout he has been through 3 weeks.
And what a throw by Tim Couch. This was on the money. And Andre Davis, he has what we call a big pass catching radius. This ball goes up high over the head of Lance Schulters. But watch him extend and go up for the ball, get both feet in bounds, very identical play to their very first touchdown in the first quarter.
Schulter's got turned around and just never saw the football, as Andre Davis brought it in cleanly, and Phil Dawson with the extra point.
It was the same matchup that they had on their very first touchdown of the game. Andre Davis lined up in the slot in man-to-man coverage against the free safety, Lance Schulters. And that's got to be someplace you go with the football. Tim Couch is making something happen. He's looking for him all the way. He said, I get you against the safety man-to-man. I'm going to put it up over the top. Showing a lot of confidence in the young rookie wide receiver, Andre Davis, out of Virginia Tech. He's a guy that can really make some big plays. So far today, you see he's making the big plays, 12-yard reception, his second touchdown reception of the game, but an 11-play drive helped out a lot by the penalties by the Tennessee Titans defense.
Well, now let's talk about the situation. 2:35 to go. Titans 28, Browns 21. Butch Davis has no timeout remaining. He lost one on a challenge that didn't go his way, and they were forced to call a timeout when they didn't have the right personnel on the field. As Jamel White tried to come in, William Green didn't know exactly what his assignment was, and they had to use a timeout. Now, he's only got a 2-minute warning left, and he's down by a touchdown.
Well, first, you have to get the onside kick. First things first, you have to get the football. Then if you can get it, if you're fortunate enough to do so, then you're going to run a lot of your routes toward the outer edges of the field, and hopefully your guys can get out of bounds as you advance down the field.
3 linebackers on that front line for Tennessee. It's a timing kick. Dawson, did Cleveland get it?
Whoa, he got it.
Oh, what a play by Northcutt. Dennis Northcutt, before he went out of bounds, was able to come up with the football, and the Browns have it.
And give Dawson all the credit for just making a wonderful kick. He hits the lob wedge on this one, and it bites and comes back right towards Northcutt, who uses his speed to get down the field. And watch the bite. It just bounces up perfect for Northcutt, who's able to get the ball in bounds.
Ooh, was he in bounds?
What a play.
That's the question right now.
He does have to get the ball. It's like making a reception. He has to get the ball and maintain possession in bounds with both feet down, and Jeff Fisher's going to challenge him.
Challenging the ruling on the field that the kicking team recovered the ball with possession in bounds. We'll review the play.
It has been that kind of day. Nothing has happened easy for either team.
We said that Tennessee has gotten a lot of bounces. Look, 1 foot in. Wow. I think that shows it clearly.
Was he pushed, or was it momentum that carried him out of bounds?
That's an interesting ruling. If it's a reception, you have to say, well, you know what, you're able to push him out of bounds if he has possession of the ball. You certainly are able to push him out of bounds.
Northcutt. Now
That's
it looked like that
close.
first
It looked
one.
like he may have dragged that second.
That could have been a little pitter-patter.
A 1-2 thing. How do you feel about Northcutt today? He's returned a punt for a touchdown, and then he dropped a punt inside his own 10-yard line, allowed the Titans to recover. Then they go in to score, and now he makes an incredible play here. Let's look at the feet again. Okay, that's 1 foot in, and then may have dragged the foot. I don't think you could tell that he was able to drag the second foot on that replay, but right here you'll see. Okay, now look at that. The right foot's down. Now watch the left foot. Okay, that's the right foot. Actually gets the right foot down again.
Did he have possession as that right foot was down initially, or does it even matter?
The point is, they're going to have to find a reason to say he didn't have the ball. They have to find something that says he clearly did not have the ball with 2 feet in. And I think from both angles, one, you can see that he clearly does have possession on the ball. You go to the second angle that we showed you. Now this angle, let's see if he has the ball. And I think he does. Okay, he clearly has the ball right there with 1 foot down, and then he drags that right foot as he hits with Kevin Dyson on that play. He was able to drag that right foot, I think, and get the toe down. And I don't think they'll be able to find enough visual evidence to say that he didn't.
Now, Butch Davis has certainly had his fair share of wackiness and bizarre plays after week 1, the loss to Kansas City. And now experiencing some of that here today in week 3.
After reviewing the play, the receiver did get possession of the ball with his left foot inbounds and then drug his right foot for possession. Therefore, it's first down, Cleveland.
The eye and the sky don't lie.
Larry Nemmers with the call. And that's the way it is for the Cleveland Browns right now. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 42.
I thought he was able. Now watch the right foot. Now, see, the right foot is in, and he has the ball, but he'll drag that right foot. See the toe tap right there? He gets it down, and it's only fair. At Northcutt, you have to give him credit for making a good play. And just a fine kick, I should say, by Phil Dawson.
The Browns get another chance. They had a victory taken away from them in game 1 of the season. Can they come from behind here? First down throw and a connection to Kevin Johnson over the middle. Cleveland has no timeouts left.
They still have that 2-minute warning. They're moving. It's virtually their no-huddle offense. So you could take a shot down the middle of the field here knowing you have a 2-minute warning.
Gain of 5. Out of the shotgun. Couch under a rush. Couch forced to tuck it and run. And not much there to work with. No gain on the play. Kevin Carter making the tackle. And this is going to take us to the 2-minute warning here in the 4th. This game still very much up in the air. Titans 28, Browns 21. Cleveland has the football.
Oh, credit card bill. Those interest rates. Just get a
CBS Thursday.
Bruce Arians, offensive coordinator of the Browns, told us that he was sold on Tim Couch this week when the offense went out and won the 2-minute drill from the defense in practice. They're in a 2-minute drill right now against Tennessee. Again, there's movement. Flags come down. Kevin Carter jumped on that left side for Tennessee. 12 penalties against the Titans today, 7 for Cleveland. Was he coaxed offside?
Offside, defense, number 93.
No.
Unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty.
That's Kevin Carter. Let's see if anyone moves. It's just him, but Jeff Fisher was saying that the center, Sean O'Hara, he moved the ball. They were asking as to whether or not he's moving the football. See, that's what he's doing right there. He's saying, hey, watch the center. He's playing with the ball.
3rd and inches. Handed off. White's got a first down and a little bit more as he crosses the 25-yard line.
And they're in a no-huddle situation. You have to call several plays in the huddle and really move expeditiously, very quickly to the line of scrimmage, get lined up, and get ready to run another play.
Browns have no timeouts left. 1st and 10 from the 24. Couch out of the shotgun. Rush is coming and tripped up by Carter.
Carter was smoking coming off that left end. He beat Roger Shinwa as soon as the ball was snapped. He figures if I'm going to jump off sides, I have to make a play here.
3rd sack of the day for Tennessee. And a 7-yard loss. Out of the gun. Couch throws a low throw to Mark Campbell, who brings it in. But the clock continues to roll. 1:05 left. They picked up 6 yards.
Yeah, that throw's going to cost him because Couch, if he completes the ball to the tight end on that play, he's able to really catch it and step out of bounds. If he keeps him going toward the sideline, at least allow him to make the catch standing up.
Oh, they just stopped the clock with 57 seconds left. Tennessee had 1 timeout remaining. Cleveland with none. Are they going to review that under 2 minutes? And I think they will.
Yeah, they're saying this may be an incomplete pass. And it's an official's challenge. They're just going to take it under review.
Did Couch get the ball to Mark Campbell cleanly? And that's what Larry Nemmers has to take a look at. The clock does stop for Cleveland. So what could have been a very chaotic situation.
And Couch had plenty of time.
Review the catch on the field.
Oh, look at that. I think it's a catch.
That's a catch.
He got his hands under the ball, was able to lift that ball up right into the bread basket and able to hold on to it. Ball never touched the ground.
This is actually going to benefit Cleveland, Solomon, because I think they're going to get a 3rd and 11 with the clock stopped. which is what they needed, a chance to get their offense in order.
And Bruce Arians is doing an excellent job of taking advantage of the situation. He's out on the field on the numbers talking to his quarterback, Tim Couch. You know, you have to call maybe several plays here. Say, okay, here are the possibilities. You call 2 or 3 plays depending on the situation so that Tim Couch can really manage the offense. Whatever scenario he has, he's able to really get the ball going in the no-huddle offense and keep the thing going.
I'm sure there will be contingency calls from that sideline depending upon what happens on this 3rd down. Looks like Cleveland will have a 3rd and 11 in front of them, because that seemed pretty obvious that Mark Campbell was able to scoop that ball up before it hit the ground. Here's Nemmers.
After reviewing the play, the receiver's hands were underneath the ball. The ball did not hit the ground, therefore it is a good catch.
Ball never hit the ground. He wasn't able to get out of bounds, but because the officials went to review it, they gave Cleveland the timeout they needed and gave them time to actually pull everyone together and get several plays called in the huddle, because they'll go no huddle after this play.
Now they've started the clock. 3rd down. Couch throws complete. Andre Davis. Davis after the catch, and he gets out of bounds inside the 15-yard line, and enough for the 1st down.
It was just a good play by Andre Davis. Many of the coaches, Roots, Davis, and Arians, you can see him coming across the field right there, and see he's able to get past Schulters. Schulters has to do a good job of staying outside in, making the tackle, and keeping Davis from getting out of bounds. Such a polished and poised receiver to be a rookie.
13 on a 1st and 10. Cleveland looking to tie this one up. They'll get a chance underneath the coverage. Kevin Johnson is spun around like a top at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, now you don't want to do that. What you want to do if you're on defense is go ahead and get lined up, because they're going to stop the clock until you're able to give the officials the ball. Tank Williams, he's the rookie running down the field, and that's what you do. You allow the offense time to get set.
Quincy Morgan was by himself in the corner of the end zone on that play. Couch didn't see it. 23 seconds left on 2nd down. Couch under a rush. Throws it towards the end zone. And incomplete. Kevin Carter had the pressure.
Good heads-up play by Couch.
18 seconds left. And a 3rd and 6 for Cleveland.
Now, you don't want to take the sack there. You don't have any timeouts left. You take the sack, and it may end up being the last play of the game. 18 seconds left. You go ahead and get the play called here. You have to take some shots in the end zone. Don't get caught holding the football.
From the 9-yard line. Tennessee 28, Cleveland 21. 18 seconds left. Couch out of the shotgun on a 3rd and 6. Rush is coming. Couch throws. Dennis Northcutt breaks the tackle and takes it in for the touchdown.
Well, we said that Northcutt give it and he take it away. He fumbled the ball inside the 10-yard line, allowed Tennessee to take a 2-touchdown lead. Then not only does he recover the ball on the onside kick, but boy, does he put a move on Mike Eccles, the cornerback, filling in for Andre Dyson. Puts a move on him, puts a hand down, spins in, walks in for the touchdown.
Eccles just whiffed on Northcutt. Phil Dawson the extra point. Gardocki the holder. Ryan Keel will snap it. This is for the tie. Dawson nails it for Cleveland. And it's all knotted up at 28 and 28 with 12 seconds left.
We said Tim Couch had to make some plays in this game. He said, did I? But watch Northcutt. He comes on the out route, but he puts a hand down. Look, the spin move. Gets his head around. He finds Eccles, feels the pressure of the defense. He spins, puts a hand down, and walks in for the touchdown, but just good vision. Watch him look over his left shoulder. He sees the defense, comes back the other way. Just incredible quickness by Northcutt.
Non-plays. 42 yards in 2 minutes and 23 seconds after recovering the onside kick. And the Cleveland Browns have come from behind to tie this one at 28 and 28.
Now, you have to give Tim Couch some credit, as well as the offensive line. They gave him the time to complete some passes. He made some throws, kept his head, kept his composure, brought his team back But you know what? Even with all that said, you need receivers to make plays. They've been able to slip some tackles and pick up some yards after the catch. You have to give Northcutt all the credit in the world on that one, because had he been tackled, the game most likely is going to be over.
12 seconds left. Tennessee has 1 timeout left. Tim Couch in his first start of the season. He knows what people are saying in the Cleveland area. There are those that believe that Kelly Holcomb should have remained in as the starter. Butch Davis never backed off the statement that Tim Couch is the guy. Line drive. And he scooped up. Eddie Berlin on the return. Berlin, 7 seconds left. A flag down. 2 flags down, in fact, as Anthony Henry makes the stop on special teams, and the clock stops with 4 seconds showing.
Now, the interesting thing, if this game ends up going into overtime, as you see holding on the Titans, they never really got the offense
During the
going.
return, holding, number 83, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Now, they never really got the offense going. They've had the turnovers. The field's been very short for them to go in and score touchdowns, but they, other than that first possession, when they did score on their touchdown in the first quarter, they really haven't had to go the length of the field to put points on the board.
Well, the numbers are overwhelming. Cleveland, 338 total yards. Tennessee, 188. And Tennessee content here just to take a knee with 4 seconds left. Don't risk anything and get ready for the extra session. Overtime here in Nashville. Tennessee thought they had this one in control, up by 2 touchdowns late in the 4th quarter. And Cleveland did everything right. Tim Couch leading his team down the field. Then Dawson with the perfect kick, the perfect setup.
The perfect kick.
For Dennis Northcutt to recover it. And then the Browns offense able to make plays, wide receivers in particular, including Northcutt, to tie this one at 28.
But with less than 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter, with Cleveland trailing 14 points. Tim Couch hits Quincy Morgan. He's able to slip a tackle. He's able to move the chains, pick up the first down. And then we asked, was it too late? We said, well, if they continue to plug away, continue to make some plays, it wasn't too late if they could get the quick touchdown and then get the onside kick and score very quickly. Well, that's exactly what they did.
The Football League consists of a period until the first team scores. All timing is the same as the 4th quarter. All reviews will be held by the replay booth. Cleveland's the visiting team. Heads, tails. What is your call? Heads is called. It's heads. Cleveland has won the toss. They will receive. Kick in this direction.
Cleveland will have the football in overtime when we come back. End of regulation. They couldn't decide this one. 28-28. Coming up, Subway postgame show. Jim, Dion, Dan, Boomer, and special guest Jerome Bettis. All the scores and highlights week 3 around the NFL. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show here on CBS. Now, Dennis Northcutt, I think it's safe to say he's played a role in this one.
He's played a major role. You see the speed of Dennis Northcutt on a 74-yard punt return for a touchdown. Then he drops one inside the 10-yard line. Tennessee takes a 2-touchdown lead, but then he's able to get the onside kick, and watch the moves by Dennis Northcutt. Speed, quickness, and awareness, tying up the game, sending it into overtime.
So each team is given 2 timeouts. They put 15 minutes on the clock. And the Browns and Titans locked up in a 28-28 tie. Nedney will kick it off for Tennessee.
Well, he probably went into the doghouse with Butch Davis and worked his way right back out.
All-time overtime records. Nedney on the approach. King and Davis are back to receive it. Here's Davis. Lets it go over his head and out of the end zone. Browns will have it at the 20. So Nedney does his job for Tennessee, and now Cleveland will have to put together a drive here to get in scoring territory and walk out of here with a win.
And Tim Couch has been very effective in the spread offense. I think you continue to do some of the same things you did in the fourth quarter. You keep Jamil White in the game, and you try to go with your 3 wide receiver set, using White out of the backfield and try to continue to move the chains. Tim Couch having a career day, 47 attempts so far in the ball game. Has completed 33 of them.
1st and 10 from the 20. On a give for White. Jamil White put the helmet down like a battering ram into Mike Eccles, and a gain of 6. And it's been White in the backfield for Cleveland.
That's right. This is the personnel grouping that they want. They want the 3 wide receivers, Quincy Morgan, Kevin Johnson, and Dennis Northcutt has also been in there with Andre Davis, but you have to keep Jamil White in there. I think he just gives you so much more of a threat, whether he's running the ball or slipping out as a receiver.
2nd and a long 4 for the Browns. Fake the handoff. Couch steps up. Couch under some pressure. White driven back. Keith Bullock. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Well, Bullock has been there all day, serving as a shadow to Jamil White. It's just amazing how a linebacker who's so big can stay with a speedy and very quick running back like White. But he's right there. As soon as White makes the reception, there's no chance of yards after the catch. Credit Bullock with the speed and recognition to snip out that play and come in and make the tackle. 9
catches today for Jamil White, 37 yards. Line of scrimmage is the 25, a 3rd and 5 for this Browns offense. First possession of overtime. Out of the gun, Couch. Protection is there. Couch unloads, complete to Quincy Morgan. And a 1st down for Cleveland at the 35. They pick up 10 through the air.
That time, Tennessee decided they're going to blitz. They're bringing 7 guys. You could see they're working on Eccles over there. He just comes in, sits down. Couch able to make the throw. Morgan's able to make the catch.
And the loss of Andre Dyson to that hip injury has been a huge part of what's happened here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, they're picking on Mike Eccles. He's going to have to really tighten up that coverage, particularly when he knows that they're blitzing. That time, Titans brought 7 guys. It's going to see a 3-step drop. Ball's going to come out right away. Have to tighten it up.
1st down from the 35. On a give, White. He's got some room. Jamil White. Shake and bake move out across the 45 for a pickup of 12.
I just think Cleveland Browns do so much more and so much better on offense when they have this personnel grouping with the 3 wide receivers and 1 back set. As long as White is the guy that's back there, I think he offers so much more of a threat to the defense. They have to watch him. They know that he's a guy who can slip out. You see William Green not in the game. He did start today, but after 2 fumbles, you get into overtime, you got to give the ball to a guy you can trust. Jamil White is certainly good receiver, good running back, and you know what? You can trust him to hold on to the football.
1st down from the 47. Browns are on the move. Couch steps up. Rainbows 1 to the sideline and caught by Davis. Andre Davis matched up with Eccles. 31-yard hookup for Cleveland.
And Couch is now over 300 yards passing in the game. He said, I know I can do it. This is just good timing. He doesn't throw it over the top of the receiver. Look at Eccles. He doesn't look back and find the ball. He is in good position. He doesn't find the football. Andre Davis does. The rookie matching up and just excellent timing in the offense in terms of the ability to throw the ball to the receiver, and he just slows up.
We will review
makes the reception.
the catch on the field.
Was he inbounds? That's what Larry Nemmers is going to find out for sure.
Well, he had several reviews today, and see if Davis is able to maintain. He has excellent body control. That's why I'm so impressed with the young rookie. He's able to slow down and really time up this ball. See if he's able to stay in bounds. 1 foot, 2nd foot, looks like it's in. I know it's very close with that right foot.
They just showed it here on the big screen at the Coliseum. Obviously, fans here are going to tell you that he wasn't inbounds.
Left foot, right foot. Can you tell there? I don't think so. I already ruled it a catch on the field. So they have to be able to tell that he's out of bounds. I don't think there's enough there. That's really close. That's really close.
Rookie on rookie, Davis with Eccles. And Phil Dawson is waiting for his chance to give Cleveland the win?
Well, that last drive, it was Northcutt on Echols, and Northcutt was able to score the touchdown, and now it's Andre Davis. I think this play is going to stand as called on the field because there's not enough visual evidence to say that he was out of bounds.
Right now, if the play stands, you're looking at a 39-yard field goal. Obviously, Cleveland will look to get it closer. But first things first, is the line of scrimmage going to remain the 22-yard line?
And Dawson had kicked in 21 consecutive field goals before missing earlier in the game from 50-plus yards today, so this is certainly well within his range.
And remember, this is not a situation where it's a coach's challenge. This is the officials determining that it's close enough to warrant a replay. Once you get into overtime, coach's challenge, that's off the books.
And that's what instant replay is designed to do. It's designed to help the officials get it right on the field so that there's no injustice towards any team.
We might have a review record, though, here. I don't know. We're going to have to check with the Elias people in New York.
After reviewing the play, the receiver did catch the ball and get 2 feet in, so the play is confirmed. First down.
Well, not what the Titan fans wanted to hear, but Cleveland allowing themselves to smile here in overtime. 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 22. What a day it has been for Cleveland wide receivers. Davis, Johnson, Dennis Northcutt, Quincy Morgan has done some nice things.
Jameel White, 9 receptions out of the backfield. He got it going here in the second half.
On first down, Couch handed off. Here's White taking it upfield, and White driven down to the grass after a pickup of 5 by Kevin Carter. And right now they're just trying to set this thing up for Phil Dawson.
That's right. Keep it in between the hash. Tell your running backs, hold on to the football. Make sure you have a good center quarterback exchange, and then the handoff. Really just try to keep it in between the hash marks and bring him on for the kick.
Right now you'd be looking at a 34-yard attempt, but the Browns want more yardage on a 2nd and 5. Couch handed off. It's White again, moving forward for a pickup of 2. Rocky Boyman involved in that stop for Tennessee. Dawson now pacing on the sideline. And a timeout taken. This has been a long afternoon for both of these teams.
Now, the Cleveland Browns has already suffered really a devastating loss earlier this year. You know, Tennessee, they were strongly disappointed after the loss to the Dallas Cowboys last week. But this would be a shocker considering they had a 14-point lead here in the 4th quarter.
So a timeout taken. Cleveland uses it, and they are sending Dawson onto the field on 3rd down. They'll try to win it here. Right now it looks like a 33-yard attempt. Henry Ford was slow to get up for Tennessee defensively. He's now walking off to the sideline.
This is literally an opportunity to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat because it appeared this game was over.
Cleveland 28, Tennessee 28 in overtime. A 33-yard attempt. Gardocki will hold it. Keel will snap it for Cleveland. Dawson on the approach. Dawson leans into it and bangs it through. Browns win it, and they rally to do so in overtime. 31-28 over the Tennessee Titans. Second life for the Cleveland Browns in the 4th quarter, and they take advantage of it. You could take a look at week 1 as a game was taken away from them, and here in week 3, Butch Davis may have gotten one back.
He certainly did get one back. You see Phil Dawson coming in to knock it through in overtime for the win, but Tim Couch showed his mettle today. Over 300 yards passing in the game, 36 of 50 after throwing the interception for a touchdown. I think he regained his composure, showed his leadership, and showed that he is the incumbent. He's the quarterback of this football team as he led his team in a come-from-behind victory, and that's what you have to do in the National Football League. Really set yourself apart and become the undisputed leader of your football team.
And if you're Tennessee, you're going to look back on this game, obviously a winnable game considering what happened in the fourth quarter. The fact that the offense never quite got going for the Titans. Even though they were controlling action, you just never saw a flow offensively from this Tennessee team.
And we knew coming into the game they would challenge the Tennessee Titans secondary. Very last in the National Football League last year. Gave up some big plays to allow the Browns to come back.
So Tim Couch and the Cleveland Browns come from behind, and they win this one in Nashville. 31-28 is the final. For Solomon Wilcots, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from the Coliseum. Coming up next here on CBS, it's the Subway postgame show. Cleveland has come through. They win it in OT. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.